Terrible. All right. This, and this, and this. All right. One of these. One of these. There we go. There we go. A little over. There we go. Why is my head turned? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, how is your Thursday? Lost it almost. There is a lot of content coming from Wonderlands. Filmed a bunch today. I hope to not make it reductive for people who watch the stream. Jesus Christ. Also, I could have done it like that. We could just move over a little bit. Boop. I don't know why his head's turned like that. I don't know what this is about. Also, give me a sec. Give me a sec. We're gonna use this as a focus barometer. Damn it. There's like a button on there that's not like a switch that has any sort of like plunge outwards, so I have to really finagle it around, but it's more focused. Anywho. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to quickly talk about. First things first is today is Mirror Mysteries 3, as well as a bunch of updates and patches. There's a video coming out that's going to go down every single nitty-gritty little thing. But if you just want quick jot notes for people who watch the stream, essentially the things that are new is a lot of the legendary spells got buffed. Livewire became more consistent, meaning you don't have to empty the mag in order for you to reach high damage, but they did nerf the damage beam a little bit, just a little bit. They also nerfed Contagion, I think it's what it's called. So a Stablemancer basically stacked a lot of elements on an enemy. They could just randomly pass them back and forth and just die. That's no longer supposedly in the game. They did tweak apparently Spell Shot, but all they did is decrease the amount that your spell stack weaving can gain. It was at 10 and now it's at 8. Not a big, well, kind of a cumulative. If you have multiple stacks, it's pretty like 20% decrease in damage. But they also increased a lot of the legendary spells damage by like 100%, 200%, 500%. Now, does that make them good? Maybe. We have to test. We have to see. But this is not the stream that we were doing. We have so much to get done. We have... I'm going to throw up. Give me a second. Harper. We have, We have Mirror Mysteries to grind, loot to attain, and stuff like that. Now, the biggest negative, in my opinion, that comes with this update is the fact that we have ascended. Not a good thing. We have, our chaos levels can now go up to level 50. We've unlocked ascended gear, but we still have to individually grind each chaos level up to 50. Which is awful. Like, horrible awful. So we have to grind all the way back up, which is awful. I cannot stress how shitty that is. Again, your build can immediately dumpster at Chaos Level 5 because you have Primordial, you have Volatile, and you know how to min-max things to an extent in which you can thrive. Yeah, no, you still have to go one at a time, bit by bit. It's stupid, it's annoying, I hate it. Anyways, don't mean to be good, but yeah. Now, we do have a lot of new legendaries and all those things to dig into. I'm a little disappointed by some of them, but I'll save that for the video I filmed later today. There's a weapon that scales off melee damage, but it scales so poorly off melee damage that it feels like it's irrelevant. Or at least maybe that's what I was building for it, but I don't know how I could build for more melee damage, so don't know. Weird. And yeah, but anyways, ladies and gentlemen, also one thing I just found out about this, I don't mean to be a downer, but I just found out about the guy who voiced the dub of Shield Hero, who was replaced this season, actually passed away. Like, what the fuck, from the cancer that he had. Happened on June 7th, and I'm just finding out about now. I know, I'm terrible, but man, that's just, also, I looked at the guy, because I just wanted to see, like, is this true? And on Google, you can see his face, and look like a healthy fucking guy. It's just, cancer's just like, guess what, bitch? Your threat of fate, dead. It's horrible. Horrible. Also, he had so much voice talent in so many different roles, so it's just a massive shittiness that not only his family doesn't have a person to be anymore, but also the fact that we are shit out of amazing talent and seemingly good people, so... Unfortunate. Don't mean to be too much of a downer, but it's just like, oh god, I just found that about literally 5 minutes ago. I was like, oh... What the fuck? I was watching a Shield Hero dub clip, and then I went to the comments, as I always do, to see what people thinking. And yeah, someone was like, yeah, he passed away. I'm like, no, he just got treat. Oh no, he wow, that happened fast, and it's just awful. It's just the worst. Anyways, don't mean to be downer. Sorry to mention that. Wait, so the new voice actor? No. It was the old voice actor. The old voice actor who originally voiced him. He had to quit doing Shield Hero dub because he had colon cancer, and that was just released, I think, right around the same time as that. But yeah, maybe it was like he just waited to tell people that he actually was dealing with this. But it must have gotten to a point where it got so bad because literally like 3 months later, after it was already announced that he was going to be getting replaced, he passed away, which is just like brutal. Like, Jesus, at least to me, a person who just found it out about it back to back, I was like, oh no. And it's a shame. It's a shame. So you better get used to the Shield Hero new person dub, and you know, yeah, because I don't know what to say. It's just hard. Also, what's good, Lone Sneaker? What's good, Fluff? What's good, Fiend? My body is ready. It is. It's pretty fun. It's fun to have content. I am worried for all of the what happens after all this. You know, classic me, worry. But yeah, on a side note, this is the torrent build 2.0. You guys can see that every single thing here is primordial, except for legendary DLC gear, because that is not a thing apparently. It's, the save editor that I found is not allowing that. Unfortunate. But yes, every spell we have is now primordial. Turns out it's pointless because Ascended is there, so I have to redo all this. So, but anyways, would have been nice if they would have told us for sure that that's happening. I will give you guys a slight tease, which is pretty cool in terms of some of the new legendary weapons. These are them. We can summon companion bows. Now, as Gearbox just always does, they are in most ways not as good as pixies or anything else that is at endgame. So they are just kind of, right now at least, with me not having built them, unless they're building off of like companion damage. I'm doing a lot of companion damage though, so I don't know. But yeah, they're okay. Okay. I'm kind of like, well, my pixie pistol that I can fire 15 of is doing more than the thing that has a cost-benefit analysis. But you know, okay, sure, that's weird. Also, wait, 1, 2. Oh, with that being said, though, it doesn't have a cap on it, so you can cast shit ton of those. Wow. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have so much to do. I wanted to poll you guys what y'all want to do. We have Chaos Chamber grind to get up to level 50. We have new items to attain in the Wheel of Fate. See what all of them are, and then we also have we could also run the new DLC if you guys just want to see it a little bit. There's a whole video coming out about that, like my thoughts individually on floors, if you care, as well as me just kind of like talking about the question I think is always comes out whenever one of these mirrors comes out is it worth it? And you'll be surprised by my response. But yeah. Lone Syndicate says, "What's up, Grin? What's good, Lone Syndicate? Hopefully you're having a lovely day. What's good, Fluff?" Fluff says 2 per stack, also -2 per stack for magic bolts. Yeah. The magic bolts got a nerf too. Yeah, although I don't think that one will be changed even in slightly, because it's still like insane that it applies to everything, you know. And also it was like you were doing an overabundance of gun damage to such an extent that I think you would be okay. Like especially if you had a primordial gun instead of an ascended, instead of like a chaotic, it would make a huge difference. I think it would just basically circumnavigate that thing. Lone Syndicate says, 50% damage buff, but still hits like a wet noodle. Is that true? I didn't know that. Lone Syndicate says, well, I know what won't be. Oh, I know what I won't be doing in Wonderlands. Yeah, the grind to level 30. I mean, Lone Syndicate. What do you call it? Well, no, you're right. No, you're on PC. I know you're on console, so I won't be able to drop you the thing. But every save file will be cooking now. You're able to make everything primordial. You're able to make everything. You could take care of everything. Everything can be chaos level 35. Everything. And I'm like, oh, this is what people were doing. This is how people were making rings that were like, what? But yeah. Also, it's a pain in the ass to install the fucking save file editor. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know how to do it. Wait, so the new voice actor? Oh, that's sad. Such a great Naofumi. I know. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's unfortunate because he wasn't just voice acting that. He was voice acting like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff. He was Demon Slayer. So yeah. Fiend says, personally, the new DLC is better than previous, but still it's not level Borderlands 3 DLC. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, not the same level as Borderlands 3's DLC. I understand what you're saying, Fiend. But yeah, no, I guess we can run it one more time just to show you guys it's not too crazy. Where's my gun? Oh, I don't have it equipped. I was showcasing other weapons. Let's do this, and then do Dark Magic one. There we go. Also, what weapons are we having? Oh, let's go with time skip. Time skip is a blast. Well, we can actually have a little bit of fun. We could go time skip in no, not right hand. We want something that's heavy hitting on our right hand. Where is Earthquake? There it is. There it is. Yes, Earthquake is now primordial. Nice. Also, yeah, there's we can't get access to, I don't think, everything, but I could be wrong on that. But I don't think we can get access to everything. So yes, let's go. Run it. Yes. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna throw up. I have like heartburn. I have like a thing in my chest. Fluff says, I have a feeling he may have informed them he was fighting that voice actings aren't replaced lately. Yeah, I know. I think that's probably what it was. Probably he was fighting it. He took a step back, and then they were like, hey, season 3 is like, or season 2 is starting, and he's like, yeah, I can't. Like, I'm this, it's getting bad. And I don't think people, at least it wasn't articulated to me in that way that it was, and maybe they even sold it like, nah, we're doing our best, you know, they're not trying to make anyone worry, but I think it was severely bad. Like, I haven't heard, maybe, I don't know, I'm sure, I didn't know cancer could just, like, get that bad that fast, you know what I mean? Like, from when we knew about it, or at least from when I knew about it, from him passing away, it's just like, wow. But yeah. Oof. Fluff says, each DLC is improving at least, but the mirror mysteries generally aren't worth the asking. But yeah, no, I definitely think it's an improvement. I do dislike that, how do I put it? There's certain things I wish were play tested and seen that, like, at least to me, and maybe it's me as an individual, I'm like, you know, too much of a, like, you know, I think this is a general feeling, and it could just be a singular feeling for me. But I don't like whenever I have to wait and like sit there and like twiddle my thumbs. So there's a moment in the thing where I climb on it. What do you call it? There's like a moment where I have to like, you're like escorting a cart essentially, and it's pretty frustrating because you're like sitting there waiting for it to open, and you're just kind of like, come on, you son of a bitch, do the thing already. Oh, don't lag, don't break. Also, yeah, Time Skip got a buff, Glacial Cascade got a buff, Dazzler got a buff, which I cannot wait to mess around with that because that was already something that I was interested in. Also, the Reviver got a buff. Yeah, everything got a, I'm happy because Legendaries were in a rough place. They were in a bad situation. But yeah, this is really cool. Yeah. I don't like how the ending boss had so many invincibility phases, you know? Like, he constantly is pushing. I guess it's not as bad because he's technically pushing you into a different encounter. So it's not like you have to stop necessarily, but it's like how do we have an invincibility phase without having an invincibility phase? Which is kind of like, okay, sure. Still not sure if I'm into it, but you know, it's what it is. Anyways. Oh, I'm starting to get lit up. Oof. But boys, I am over the moon that I no longer have to participate in the hellish nightmare that is Primordial, Chaotic, or Ascended. I'm just happy. Yes, I really hope that the person who made the save editor continues to make it for DLC 3. The good news is that the good news is that even though there's level chaos, level 50 and all that shit, we're done. Now, granted, I have this sneaking suspicion that as soon as we get to the max point, we're gonna be kind of stuck again. Oh, please, go. But sorry, what I mean by that is, right now it is exceedingly hard to get primordial. It's even hard to get volatile. So I'm terrified for that outcome about being like, oh, okay, we finally have access to the maximum tier thing, but it's still super rare to get to drop. Like, it's a 1% chance to get ascended, and like maybe a 30 or 20% chance to get primordial. And I'm like, that's like significant. Like, almost every time you see something drop, aka a legendary, which is already somewhat chance based to drop, Now it's a 30% chance. It's still a significantly lower chance for a legendary to basically be fundamentally useless. It's like, what? That's not the good. That does not reward dopamine brain weirdness at all. Yeah, look at that. Look at that time skip. Time skip's day to shine. Fluff says, if we're doing chambers, I'd like to join climbing. Okay, we could do that right after this. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe we should grind for some gear, but I can always do that while I'm listening to a podcast, honestly, because it requires you to scan things, and at least chaos chambers are pretty, you can kind of autopilot, you know? Also, a rain of, what is that? Oh, that's rain of arrow shotgun, the double barrel. Have we finally reached this? Oh, no, it's lowering, that's what's happening. What's this? Ah! Stop it! Stop it! Jesus Christ! Power that summons a skeep. Yeah, we'll do chaos chambers as soon as we're done this. Fluff, you patient with me? We'll do that. Get it done. Fiend says, is it alright if I join you? Apparently, I have added, though I don't remember adding you. Yeah, no, it's okay. You can join me. I think I have an invite only, though. Let me give me a sec. I'll put into friends. There we go. Yeah, you can join me if you want. Yeah. We're probably just gonna be jumping into chaos chambers because yes, we all need to get through that hell loop to just be done with it. Which unlucky. At least right now until every DLC the save editor has to be updated. So we need to be patient for that to be the case. But then you can literally just download your save file, click on like, hey, Chaos level 35, you're good, and also you can like make your gear primordial, ascended if you wanted. You can make the gear ascended at like week 1, which is to say like I don't know, stuff like that. To me, I'm always just like, if this is built into the game, I don't know. We could have been making progress like eons ago. Is my feeling. You know what I mean? Like, why did we have to wait a millennia just to be able to do this? Also, oh no, snappy, this. Go pixies, eat! God damn, we reload this one fast. Gee Louise. Also, the featured run this week is going to have nothing but mimics, which is pretty interesting. I do wonder, because I was lost like in my like I had no idea why, but why do they keep releasing chaos chambers, like DLC right around chaos chambers? Like to me it's just frustrating because it's like, well, it makes you just not play the DLC because there's like 50 more chaos chambers that you have to grind through in order to feel like you're even remotely playing at endgame where you want to be, making like long-term progress, So I was wondering why they constantly are doing that, and I think it's because in Gearbox's head they're thinking, well, if there's only ever content for what is it called? If there's only ever content for players that bought the DLC, then that'll make players mad. Like, oh, why are they getting content? It's like, I paid $10 for something that is not worth $10. I mean, please, God damn it, I would like to be reward also. Oh, why is that taking so long? Okay, no, it's just a fucking health bar bug. But yes. But yeah, no, I think that's why Gearbox is maybe thinking that way. Is like, oh, well, this way, everybody has something to do when it comes to a big DLC drop. And it's like, yeah, but the stuff to do for Chaos Chambers is much more harder to do than the actual DLC. Also, if I wish they would have like a Chaos Chamber run that specifically had, let me do this and then this. I wish they had a Chaos Chamber run that only had the DLC maps, because I feel like I hate the fact that it's chance. It's like completely chance based. You know what I mean? I'm like, let me have a guaranteed gain. A net positive is what we call it. Oh, Although I will say this is fun. I do like these areas and shit. I think they did a good job with making something fresh here. Don't do it. This is why time skip is the bee's knees. Look at that. All right, we're close. We're close to getting it all. And that's why Earthquake is good, but, you know, it has limitations. Damn it. Ah, damn it. Oh, but the one I'm the most excited to mess around with is called the Frozen Orb. No, the Snow Globe. Frozen Orb? I think it's Frozen Orb, literally. But yeah, it's just like a frozen orb that goes forward. And I'm like, this, I hope that's good. Because imagine that. You just go pop, pop, pop. And then you have like these twister tornado things that are just like all consuming in a slow radius. If they actually can pack a punch and you're already building cryo, and you even have Berserker, that could have a really fun build of like make people cryo, take more damage, and then just rip them to shreds, you know? It could be fun. It could be great. This one's a pain in my ass. This is the one I hate the most. It's just a time suck, essentially. What's good, CW? It says, evening, Grin. This DLC is nice early birthday gift. My birthday is on Saturday. Happy early birthday, my friend. Yes, I agree with it. I agree with you. It is fun. Again, there's always the question of like, well, then should I buy it? And I'm like, maybe not. I feel like you should wait until you get like you can get all of these and like for $3 or like $5 or $8. But if you have some disposable income, and then by all means that's your metric to govern. But you know, I'm happy having something new to play. I wish it was more. Also, this is content that is like, again, I feel like there's more value in the Chaos Chambers because you can just infinitely do them, and you're gonna be like. I feel like there's more value to the Chaos Chambers than to do the new DLC stuff, but I paid for the DLC stuff, so I'm kind of like, what? Like, this is some bull-ass shit. But yes, but I cannot wait to get like some really good spells and see which ones is packing a punch. I think that actually might be a whole ass stream, but it will be not like our normal streams where it's just me being like, I'm trying to make something out of nothing, help me. Watch me grind and be frustrated. It'll be a stream where I literally like give ourselves all of the best possible gear, best possible spells. So we'll have all the spells, the best variation of them, or at least a good variation of them, and at Ascended, and then we'll see which one's actually worth pursuing. Even that I think would be helpful, even if you're not wanting to mess around with something that is all it would be is just taking something that we have and making it prime or Ascended. I don't want to like make it so that we have like all of the, because we have like at least, and it's funny because how it worked out like this, because I ended up keeping like even like chaotic, but it happened to be a good roll. I kept those because I was like, it's something. But now I'm like, I'm so happy I did that because we technically do have some of the best drops of it, and all I'm gonna do is flip on the switch because I just don't want to participate in the chaotic primordial thing anymore, guys. And again, I'll make it clear when you're looking at a save file that has that one thing where we basically just flip a switch and make it chaotic, because I'm not having fun with that. To me, it literally makes it like horrible. It takes a fun experience and makes it horrible. Because yeah, you're just sitting there like you're not excited by the thousands of legendaries dropping, and yeah. So that's a way for me to still like, ooh, look a legendary and like look and see if it has potential, you know, having variability rather than the other stuff. Than like chaotic, volatile, and primordial, you know? So I'm officially opting out of that hellish rat race, and I hope you can understand why. Galactic Gumbo. What is that? Which one's that? Oh, that's you in the thing. I got you. Yeah. All right, here we go. Final boss thing. Easy peasy. Also, I wish, man, imagine this, guys, by the way. As soon as we load in, you guys will see what I mean. Imagine if you could pick, like, a house. Like, this is my idea for, like, something to keep us chewing on something and feeling rewarded by investing in it. But imagine if you could have a house right here, out looking at beautiful mountainscape, and you could pick from, like, 3 areas that have different, like, background sandboxes. And you could, like, have a house where you could level that shit up, bring it tier by tier, have, like, a fucking beautiful-ass castle each time you invest. That way, there'd be a value for money. There'd be a value for all this kind of stuff, rather than you just kind of being like, well, I kind of guess all my stuff is pointless, largely. My investment does not matter. I have $1 billion and nothing to spend it on. Unlucky. All right, where's Big Pooba? Oof. Do. Fluff says. Oh no, wait. Lone Singlet says, that's until Gearbox makes Chaos level 75. Well, I hope not. I really hope not. I'm okay with a level cap increase. How the fuck did you get over there? What was that? What was that? Oh, you might just, I think you have a movement speed thing, because goddamn, you fast. Gumbo is fast as shit. And death. Gotta love time skip. There's only a few moments where it's like, all right, give me a sec, gotta snap my fingers 1,000 times. Gumbo! Oh, they fixed the heal thing. Beforehand, it was really messy. Also, I didn't hold down my time skip, goddamn you. My pixies will eat you alive, it's okay. It's okay. There's so many. Ah! Ah! What happened to... Oh, Gumbo died. Oh no, Gumbo. My boy. Oh. This. Oh, also, guys, how do you feel? Sorry, I was really curious about this. How do you guys feel about the sprite something? It's the new thing, the new class. I wanted to talk to you guys about this because Gearbox actually released like a character design for him, and it very much gives you like the poison. I don't know if it's a poison thief or like a poison mage. I don't know which one you'd consider it to be. I think it's a little bit of both. Who knows? But yeah, no, I'm amped. Especially, it makes so much more sense for some of the poison adjacent class mods that seem almost like they're probably designed for that character in mind. So yeah, that's nice. That's nice. All right, we have one more. No, he's down. He's somewhere. He's somewhere. Time skip. Eat him. Never mind. Never mind. My fucking pixies ate him alive. Ugh. What did we get? We got a increases fire damage based on enemies having been hit by it on a period of time. Gotcha. Moving on. Okay, now let's go embark on Chaos Chamber runs. Oh, my body, Fluff says, and finished my Valorant weeklies. Gotta take a quick rest from restroom break, and I'll be hopping on. Yeah, you can always jump on mid run, right? Mid the run. Mid Chaos Chamber run. I'm gonna throw up. Oh, man, I don't know what's happening. I got heartburn like mad. Oh, also, are there any G Fuel, Gamer Sups, Fuel, whatever, connoisseurs out there? Because I wanted to talk to someone who has consumed those type things. Also, Gumbo. What is this? Your character's like, ooh, shh, don't tell anybody. All right, let's start grinding. Chaos. Yeah, see, why can't I just jump to fucking 50, you bastard? Anyways, it's cool that you can see that the total, though. But yes, moving on. Particularly because Chaos Chambers are fueled by mirror mysteries, so you'll need to complete the DLC, but then go do the Chaos Chambers to get the DLC legendaries. Is that how it works? I guess it makes sense. Do Chaos? Did you do? No, oh, hey, I could do it. I could do it. Give me a sec. Well, as soon as we finish, I was gonna pull up the chart that shows all the new legendaries, because I got the Stabo weapon, I got the ring, I got the necklace, I got the spells. I think there's 2 spells and there's 2 melee weapons that we can get. I don't have any of the melee weapons, so I think we're gonna use our bunny fuel for that. Snap, 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 snap. Do we have to stand in an area? No, we're just killing things. I will say, I don't think time skip is actually necessary here. It's fun in the one playing where you have to quickly burst down a couple shards, but here, it may not be necessary. We could probably go full bore, something else. Also, with the mod save editor, just to be able to make some of the things that I've gotten to drop already, like there's one of my favorite things in the game is it's just if you snap your fingers and you just start summoning like a giant AoE swirl. It's almost like you're just dropping a nuke. Or like a dark magic bomb or a cryo bomb. I would love to make a build around that, but I just couldn't get them to drop at Primordial because it's already hard to get a purple to drop with variability in your hands, but then Primordial on top of that just makes it like painful. Stay back, we'll do that one. I guess we don't need, yeah, we'll probably just do, yeah, we're probably not going to try to, especially when we're playing in co-op, we'll get enough shards, so we're probably just going to push through this. We're going to go with the easiest run, probably every, like, medium. We're not going to be in curses. Just going right in. Fluff, is he joined? He is. Our boy is here. CW says, I'm stuck at Chaos level 11, so should I go down the Chaos levels and hope for something better? I would say for trying to progress, at level stuck at level 11 Chaos level, it kind of depends on what you want to do. It also depends on what build you're optimizing for. Melee tends to be a build that it's quite hard to do. Ability is also quite hard to scale for. Gun damage and spell damage is probably in the best place right now in terms of Wonderlands, in terms of like building for it, and it's quite easy to do so. So yeah, I would say probably start by, if you want to increase your Chaos level, the best thing to do is to try to basically nuke it as much as possible. So do your higher Chaos level challenges, and try to get every easy buff you can. So go for the Unicorn Butt Stallion rooms because they'll give you a lot back. They'll make you have buffs and make you do more damage. And then do that until the point where you can't, and then just run whatever Chaos level you can handle as many times as you can until you can get weapons that are good. But you should have an awareness of what weapons are worth investing in, I guess. Yes. Which is to say, like, you can kind of circumnavigate your way to endgame by having a pixie and whatnot. Although CW, if you also wanted, every Sunday, hell, maybe even at the end of this stream, I would do it for you. If you wanted me to drop all my primordial gear and stuff for you, that way you could have an easier time getting there. But if you don't want that, if you want to have an authentic, climb yourself, then that would be something you could do. Is just do it bit by bit like that. Although there's no real way, I don't think there's any like written down way to do it, I guess. Yeah, I'd say go into the point in which you can kind of start thriving from your Chaos level, which is to say, I don't know, honestly, you leveling up your Chaos level is probably not as good as just doing Chaos Chambers fast. Like I'd pick a Chaos Chamber where you can just bang it out really fast and then hunt for a weapon that you know is going to be somewhat good. Like there are some legendary weapons like Sword Explosion is really good. Pixie, Fear Knots are honestly just insane because you can just cumulatively throw a ton out and just benefit wholeheartedly from that kind of thing. So yes. Fiend says, Galactic Gambit is me. Forget my using. Oh, okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Where? Oh, we're still fighting. I thought we were done. Oh shit, we almost missed that opportunity. Okay, I'm gonna quickly switch up my magic. Time skip is awesome, but it's a little too we don't need it. What to use? I think we have Meteor. That's dark magic. Yeah. Fluff says, but it's also a weekly drip feed of DLC difficulty. So you have 4 weeks of increasing rewards for Mirror Mysteries, whilst you have Chaos Chambers to climb for over 4 weeks. For those 4 weeks. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, at this point I am very interested in seeing what they'll do after this current DLC instance is done. Like that's where I'm like, what do you guys? Is there anything planned? is there something, or is this it? Like yeah. For what it's worth, I'm actually like that save file editor dude. I can't. That was my idea of I think my problem with Wonderlands is the Ascended Chaotic Gear, but maybe that's not it. Maybe it's just that I'm burnt out. I was playing it really hard when it first came out, and now I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if but I tried to decode my feelings about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that every time I hunt for legendaries, it's basically like it's a slog. Like legendaries used to be exciting, and now it's like, oh, that one doesn't have chaotic. Oh no, that has the worst roll possible, but it is chaotic. Okay, shit, God. To where now that I basically was given the ability just to flick on switches and to basically make it so that my gear was guaranteed whatever the max tier of Ascended, Primordial, whatever. that now I started being like, oh, this is so fun. I can actually see what, like, I can actually make a build based on, like, spells that are some of my favorite. If I'm able to push them to the maximum scaling tier, I bet they could be somewhat viable. You know, maybe not the best, like, nuke something in 1 second, but still fun. And I just don't like the idea that you have to grind to such an extent in order to get yourself to that point, I guess. That makes sense? Yeah. Lone Syndicate says, also, Grin, I finished Red Dead 2. Ooh, let me hear about it. Let me hear about it. I know we should save it for our Saturday stream, but I can't help it. Let me hear about what's happening. How is it? I've heard nothing but amazing things. Also, no one here fucks with that Gamers Up stuff at all. Gamers get G Fuel. No one's tried it. Not even like when you're at the store, you looking at some like random drinks and you see that shit and you're like, I've heard about this. Crazy. How is it? Nobody? I know Beastie's into it. Beastie pops into here. I think I could talk to him about it, but I might have, because I'm balls deep in this book and it's like, it's amazing. It's so good. It's exactly what I need. Like, to no extent that I've ever experienced ever. Out of all the books I've yelled at you guys being like, hey, this one's really helpful. This one is like, it's not even helpful. It's the one thing that I needed to hear that's also hard to hear, but it's also increasingly beneficial. And yeah. And yeah. But I'm also not sure what I should do with the book. I don't know if I should like slow down content creation and implement like learn and apply, which I think is the best cause or best outcome, or if I should, how to put it, or if I should like learn it, like give myself a break and then learn as much as I possibly can, and then apply it all at once, which I feel like is a good way to like let stuff slip through the cracks. So I don't know. Anyways, sorry, it's just my own dumb head thinking. But regardless, I'm reading this book and it's awesome, but it is super detailed to the point where like I'm needing to maintain focus for a good amount of time. And I found that these last couple of days, I feel like I want to maintain focus, and that's one of the things I heard from not specifically like G Fuels and such like that, but specifically something called Gamer Sups, which, by the way, dude, I'm not a sponsored, but you gotta love the fucking branding on this. So there's G Fuel Forever. Like, everyone knows G Fuel. If you haven't heard about G Fuel, it's like a gamer, it's like a gamer supplement, which is kind of like just also good branding. but yeah, and it's basically just like a caffeinated sweet drink, which basically every soft drink is. So I don't think it's too much for us. But anyways, there's also something called Focus. By what is it? Some other company. Yeah, there's that same thing, same product, except it has a special like nootropic in it, which is some sort of like brain reaction memorization thing that they have. And then there's my favorite, just marketing wise, is something called what is it called? It's called Gamer Sups, literally. Gamer supplements kind of thing. But if you've ever seen like shaker bottles that have like a big old pair of tits of like some sort of anime waifu or whatever on the shaker cup, that's them. They're the people who are like, you know what? Fucking gamer G Fuel is trying to do this like minimalist design, and like trying to make it look like you're like, it's like it just kind of has the same designs like race cars, like clean and like impactful, but like not too much going on. And then there's Gamer Sups, which is just like, so our market is basically anime watchers who want to binge watch 50 pages of anime, who also want to manage their schoolwork, who also play a lot of video games. What should we put on the side of our bottle? Should we put some like clean, like race car text, kind of like G Fuel? No. We're going to put a big anime waifu with big boobs or a specific design for a specific kind of person. And they basically created like shaker cups that look like Pokemon cards. Like you want to collect them all. Like they're varied and different enough. Also, when you fill it up, it like changes the color of the outfit, which is cute. But anyways, but I'm just sitting there like, this is, as much as it is kind of cringe, it's so fucking well done. It's like, come on, man. It's just too good. Just such a fun, like, you knew your audience and you capitalize on that shit. And it's funny because I'm sitting there because I'm like, I wanted to see if this is actually like, if this can actually help me focus for a little bit longer. I'm careful not to like become dependent on things, but I wanted to see if it was worth its salt, I guess is how I should say it. So I ordered some, and I was looking at stuff, and I was just like, actually, it's fairly cheap, all things considered. And also, a lot of the like I listen to a lot of like health and wellness podcasts as well whenever I can. I usually go through like a phase where I'm like, all right, it's time to, make a dent, make a dent in our health. Anyways, I seen a lot of things I've been hearing for a long time in terms of like stuff that's good for your brain, and stuff that I've heard like that's been good for your brain but so old and probably is like quote unquote good. Like it may just be like 0.1% slightly better than not normal for you, which some would argue not worth. But if you're like me, you're like, fuck it, anything helps. Why not? Anyways, I just I ended up buying some, and I want to see how it fared. But whilst I was buying it, they have that shit where it's basically like ooh, you might want to buy one of these too, and it showed one of their like gamer cups, and I had three things happen. One of them where I'm like, that's first of all cute. Second of all, it's a little cringe. I don't know if I don't know if I'm a giga chat enough to sit there with my big tittied waifu shaker cup and sip at it. You know what I mean? I'm not there yet. I hope one day I can be. I'm not there. I care too much still. Anyways, but I looked at it a third time and I'm like, I kind of could see how this could be fun to collect them all, because it is genuinely like a thing that looks good. Like it's really well designed too. It's like good, passive art. Same thing you'd see on like a Pokemon card kind of thing, except more lewd and anime-ified. But yeah, it looked really cute. And I was sitting there. I was like, let's just look at them. And that's it. They had me. They had me like, go look at the cool cups with weird shit on them. So then I looked at them and I was like, oh, I like that one. I like that one. And then all of them are sold out. All of them. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's funny because now that they're all sold out, there's something in my brain. And we learned about this in the last book I read, where it's scarcity makes your brain think like, hey, I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only one who thought, hey, maybe. Hey, hold up, wait a minute. Let me look at it. We could figure this out. We could make this happen. Yeah, it had that exact response about like that scarcity feeling, that scarcity principle about like, okay, maybe. Reviver seems to have homing projectile. Is that what it was? Is that what they meant? Because they made it sound like it always had that fluff, and I was like, did it? But I guess not. Fluff says, last time I messed with energy additives or additives, it gave me heart palpitations. And I've tried to avoid it since. So unfortunately, I haven't tried. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I find my heart's pretty good. Although I do have a pretty good gauge of how much is too coffee, like how much is too much caffeine. Like I noticed that some of my friends could like slam 3 monsters and be fine. If I have one of these and a half, this is like a tiny little energy drink. If I have one of those and a half, I feel like I cave. If I have 2 cups of coffee or like 2.5 cups of coffee, I start to feel like sick. Like my body's pretty good about being like, stop it, it's too much, it's too much. Lone Singit says, oh wait, no, CV says, oh no, before that, Fluff actually replied to the thing. Fluff says, the Russian Badger has its own flavor from gamer subs, but that's the extent I know of it. Is that I'm not sure who that is. I'm sure it's a YouTuber, probably great. CW says, I've tried Shiny Splat, Pink Lemonade, and Sour Blueberry from G Fuel, but haven't tried the other brands. But Shiny Splat is my favorite because it tastes like Gatorade. Interesting. So CW, if you wouldn't mind, how does it work? Like, sorry, like, do you feel like it's better than coffee, or is it help you with it? I'm not sure if G Fuel like markets the like mental aspect of it, like nootropics essentially is what it's called, which I'm 100% okay with it being nonsense. It could just be like it's like what is it called? Organic. When someone says, hey, it's organic, it's like, fuck off. It means nothing. It means basically nothing. You know what I mean? Like, synthetic is what everything we consume is, and we've been okay. We've been somewhat okay. Also, what's good, Derp? Hope you're having a lovely day. Derp's on that fucking TikTok game. Every now and again, I see a goth woman pop up in my feed. And she's killing it, frankly. Just exudes confidence, that fuck off energy, I'm doing me, and it's great. Yes. Also, Derp, how is everything going in terms of your studies? I haven't got an update on that in a hot minute. How is the design school still happening? I imagine you're out of that at this point, right? Have you been able to find some work for your exceptionally lovely art talent? By the way, if you guys have not checked out Derp's channel, it's absolutely fantastic. I think she's taken a step back from doing so much drawing because probably she has like a full-blown job and it's a lot, which makes sense. But yeah, lovely people all around us. Let's drop that. Drop that. I guess we should be looking at what we're picking up because I only really want the good stuff. That's the one that we've heard of. Ooh, Echo. We might want to keep that just because it's different. We'll drop that. We'll drop this. Mage Staff. More Mage Staffs. Right. What's the rest? Let's actually look at what we're picking up. I don't think that's new. Nope, it's nailed it. That's the hammer. Nope, that's not new either. This. Mage Staff. Also not new. Alright, I'm ready to go, boys. You ready? Oh, no, I'm not ready to go. I haven't spent all my stuff. Shit. Lone Singlet says, well, Grin, not sure how far you got in Red Dead, but I'll skip to chapter 6. So at this point, gang has their backs against the wall, and they turn from the government trying to collapse them or trying to capture them. Gotcha. Wait. What's the name of the drink? I would like to get maybe 1 or 2 of these cups. If you type in what do you call it, Google, and type in gamer subs, and you just go to like it's one of the first things on their website. You can't get any of them because they're sold out. Because they're clearly like they've found a neat little market of like, hey, what is something that people would want to collect but also has a use? And I think it's very much they found that, which is like these weird waifu cups. The gang is falling apart as most of the gang is starting to doubt Dutch because Dutch is starting to become more who he really is. And Arthur puts it like he starts to kill innocent people and betray. Yeah, that's the feeling that I think they have to get to that point, which I almost wonder. I don't know. I would have preferred if Dutch like had a head wound and kind of changed, because it kind of does make you feel like oh, Dutch is just like a person on rails. You know what I mean? Like he's just what do you call it? At the mercy of his understood fate. You know how we know he's gonna end up where he is. So part of me was like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna make it like, oh no, he actually was a good man, but just kind of, you know, brain injuries have a way of, you know, causing such distortion within a person's morality. But you know, I think it's still again, it's just like, to me, I could see it coming. Everyone's like, oh, Dutch is gonna become a dickhead. How's this gonna happen? They did do a good job of making you like Dutch, though, at the beginning. At least me. I thought, hey, it's a good guy. He's taking care of people. what a guy. All right, I'm ready to go. Let me know when you're ready to go as well, my dudes. Fluff says, it was a straight shot projectile. Now it homes. Oh, I see. So it homes and heals. Gotcha. I wonder if it can revive a little bit. Because, yeah, hopefully there's a reason for you to have it at, like, Primordial or Ascended. Fluff says, well, he's a YouTuber / streamer. Nice. Fluff says, from what I recall of his sponsorship, he's supposed to be longer lasting energy and no crash. Okay. That makes sense, because it has no sugar. All of them don't have sugar. To me, the one thing that interests me, and I want to maybe look, they seem to really be like going hard at like the nootropics, which is basically like focus. It's like something that like brain health essentially is what it is. Now again, whether you could have all these nootropics and it's just like, yeah, you increase like your brain health by like 1%. I don't know, maybe, or maybe it's huge. I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask you guys hey Derp, have you ever had any G Fuel or anything like that? Because I want to know if there is like a difference between if you've ever had coffee to if you've ever had something that's supposed to be a performance enhancing like mental thing, which is what it's advertised somewhat as being. Lozig, it says his own people like John get captured, and when it comes time to rescue him, he was like, we will get him later, then another. But anyways, I disagree with Dutch's final plan involving cause as much chaos as they can, so they get enough money to slip away unnoticed, which is like most flawed plan I've heard. Like he gets involved with the war between Indians. Yeah, the Dutch has lost his shit. CW says, G Fuel helped me a lot, and it also has vitamins in it, and it doesn't give me the shakes unlike store-bought. Okay, I like hearing that. The one thing that gives me hope about, like, I bought, what do you call it, that Gamer Subs, which G Fuel has been around forever, so I hope that Gamer Subs just, like, looked at what they did and were like, let's do that, but, like, let's put a bunch of extra focused brain shit in there. It makes people think, hey, maybe better, I don't know. Also, what the fuck? Chaos Trial? Did we not do Chaos Trial? What the shit? Well, what the fuck? Also, okay, well, I hope... Are we doing it now? Because we didn't get an increased raise, man. What the heck? Sorry, guys. I'm not sure when somebody yelled at me, like, hey, there's not an increase to the thing. Yeah, damn it. But you said, yeah, if I even bought shakes unlike store-bought, but unfortunately my body gets used to stuff of that sort really quickly, so I can't drink a lot. Ah, I gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, some people have a really good adaptive body. Like the body just normalizes stuff really quickly. I found that was for me with melatonin. I have, like, if I had anything below like the maximum amount, even like now, within 2 days my body's like, that's normal. That's normal for us, and doesn't have any effect. And I'm like, fuck, shit. Also, are we ready to go? Yeah. Also, Derp says, oh, I graduated very recently. Let's go for Derp. It's awesome to hear. I have a degree now. Let's go. That's amazing. All your hard work. Holy shit, you made it out the other side. That's beautiful. I'm so happy for you. Short vids are going well too. Yeah, I know. I seen. And the recent one blew up nice a little bit. That's awesome. You deserve it. You've been consistent with that. Again, there's so many people who I think like go hard and then stop for like 4 months. You've been good about like, no, I'm gonna go at my own pace, but I'm gonna make sure I show up. You know, I don't think you've went a month without uploading for a while. Like it's usually like maybe a week or 2 weeks of a delay, and then you have something again, which is I think very good. Because at least then YouTube can be like, okay, I'm starting to understand your rhythm, and I'll start looking for that, you know, which is good. Fluff says, so what's the Stab-O-Matic gun type-wise? The Stab-O gun? The Stab-O-Matic gun, it basically says, the barrel says that it converts pellets to do melee damage. But I tested it, Fluff, on our melee build, which is like stupid scaling up melee, and it was not very good. It did do, like, I think because they're so terrified, I think the community, there was a lot of content creators talking about how Face Puncher was like too hot, like it basically became like the antithesis of melee builds. And I understand that is the case, but I think as Gearbox tends to do, they undercook things. I don't think that's a good idea to do at this point in the game, because I think so many people are kind of very, like, there's no variability, therefore we need something. Like the fact that like the week that they buffed the sword explosion, I don't think was a bad idea, because at least it made people hunt for that week, or for that month, frankly. But yeah, I think, like, yes, it scales technically off melee damage, but it must be by like 30% of what you do, which is to say, like, you're better off using guns with wings, pixies, fear knots, and just detonate swords, and also you'd be doing better damage because it also counts as gun damage. So, or at least that's in my sense. I could have, maybe my build didn't maximize damage. I think the only thing out of alignment was I didn't have a cryo version of the gun, which could have played a part. I don't know if you can get a face smasher that's also cryo though. I haven't seen that yet. Maybe it exists, but yeah, no. If it does, then that would be better for our build, and that maybe would be scaling good, because maybe it's scaling only 30% of melee, and the rest is gun damage, or like at least elemental damage, and therefore you could maximize it in that way, maybe. Because yeah, that's how kind of melee has to work, unfortunately. Lonziga says chaos, they have enough money and slip away on notice, which is like the most flawed plan I've ever. Oh, right, I read that. Lonziga says they also. Yeah, I know. I seen the shirts. I seen the shirts too. I'm like, I'm pretty picky about clothing. Like, I don't like to wear shitty. And I'm not sure if I want to have a cute anime thought on my clothes yet. I'm close, guys. I'm close to just giving up. Okay, I say that as a joke. You can. I think it's actually like there's something that's like fuck off. It's actually like a nice thing. It's like, look at you, goddamn king out here. You know what I mean? Derp says, I don't handle caffeine well, so I... Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Derp. I did not know that. Probably, I feel like you might have told us that, but is there a story behind that? Have you tried caffeine and it just fucks you up a little bit too much? How it makes you hard to sleep, maybe? Because I feel like people either get like they get the jitters or they get pukey, or they can't sleep. I think the one I've heard the most of is like people say it fucks my sleep so badly. Like I'll drink a little bit of caffeine and I'll be like, it'll fuck me up for like a day and a half. I won't be able to sleep and I'll feel it in the morning. I feel like that on the one time I tried marijuana. I felt high the next day. And I was like, I don't like this. I feel my head still sizzling a little bit. Maybe I'm just a baby, but no thanks. And yeah. So maybe that's the same feeling people get when they have too much coffee and their body's not good at filtering that. Maybe. Fiend says, I'm gonna leave your lobby since it was only at chaos level 29 before I joined, so that might have been why it didn't increase. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't, Fiend. Or yeah, it shouldn't. But it's okay if you want to take a minute to walk away. It's okay. It's okay, but I don't think it should. Yeah, no, because there's been times where I think it may not increase for you. Maybe you have to go one at a time. But largely, I think it'd be fine. I also think I made it just not switch to chaos trial. That seems more like it. I would have just jumped in and been like, oh, okay, we're just trying to keep pace, and then I'd be like, oh, fuck, we're doing the normal run, you know? CW says, sorry, I didn't respond. No, it's okay. That's absolutely okay. The reason why the chat's not delayed, I always like to point this out, especially when I see some people who I haven't seen in a little bit. What do you call it? The chat's not delayed. I'm just trying not to lose anyone's comment or leave them behind. But you said, sorry I didn't respond this early, but I appreciate the offer to give me gear, but I like to find and earn the stuff on my own. But no, absolutely, that makes sense. You know, I think I'm not sure if you're the same person I've already had this conversation with in the past, but I've had the same conversation with another person, and he's popped into a stream. I have the same thing. To me, unless you're willing to do like the grinding, I'm willing to put up with the bullshittery of it, but maybe some people aren't, you know. But if you want genuine advice, what I would do if I was in that's a good way to do it. If I was in your situation, I was at level 10 and I need to progress, I would look into people's builds and see what weapon, and just have an idea of where my build's going to go. So if I wanted to have an ability build, because I like the abilities, I would want to look at what weapon they used that's actually worth its salt. And then I would do chaos chambers, aim for the bunnies that specifically drop that weapon, and then fuck shit up that way. And yeah, there's a lot of weapons that specifically function a certain way, or spells that specifically function in a way, or a melee weapon that if you have like a legendary melee weapon that has a decent roll, it actually can carry you, you know. So yes, I will say melee is still in a weird spot, at least right now. I'm hoping that there's a build in the future that we can have that helps with all that. During this time, Arthur is seeing things as they really are, that their fate is set in stone, and he tries to make Dutch see that the end is near for them, but no luck. To Arthur does things behind but Dutch's back, like Sadie went to rescue John from the prison. He went to go help out the Indians, and he tries to help as many people as he can. Time he has left. Oh wow! So he's ready to die. Yeah. Okay. So how does that play out a little bit, Lone Cynic? Because I think there's an iconic scene that I've seen on like Twitter or something, where a person was like, the one time I cried in games or something like that, and it showed Arthur Morgan like getting old, sitting on a tree. Did he just bleed out and die? And I'm misremembering that he got old, or is he literally like just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go off into a village somewhere. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm not gonna have a farm. I'm gonna stay away from people, and I'm just gonna hang out. Or maybe he literally just dies like bleeding out on a stump, and I just thought he was getting older because I could only see it from distance. Stop. You did select Chaos Trial, not... Yeah, that's what it was. Shit, sorry. Fiend says, I'm going to leave your lobby. 25. Oh, I read that. Lone Singlet says Dutch. Oh, that. Fluff says, if our goal is just to climb the ranks, we don't need to be taking curses and setting to elite. I only set for elite because I want to see if I can get some of those legendaries to drop from the thing. But we didn't get one legendary to drop from the bunnies, from the melee weapons. And I think the melee weapons should drop, but they may only be dropping from the Wheel of Fate, maybe. So if after this run, Fluff, if I can't find any of the new like legendaries to drop, then yeah, I'll leave it. Although maybe I misremember. Maybe the melee weapons are from week 2, and not week 1. Huh? I don't remember. I thought week 1 we got like the Stabbo gun, the necklace. I don't know, and more. But yeah, I'm just making them elite because I know we can cut through them almost immediately. If we ever got to a point where it started to get dicey, then yeah. But also it's just because we get more shards from them as well, so that when we do get to them, we can pay for some stuff. Derp's laughing. Oh, the caffeine. I'm pretty sure I overdosed once. It banged me very, very... it made me very, very sick. I literally couldn't talk. It fried my insides. Eee. Okay, so there's something deep in there. Some problem on your whole like stomach biome. It's just like, kill me, I'm done. Brutal, Dirt Man. That's just wild. I'd not hear that. That's gotta be the kind of life where you gotta make sure you're careful about anything. I feel like after an experience like that, you're like, okay, we're gonna be real careful on just like having anything that's like what people would determine to be not so much or normal. Eesh. Lone Secret says, I have multiple anime waifu shirts. I'll be sure to show you them. And so I would love to see it. Again, I feel like as long as you have that residual confidence, that fuck off energy, I'm living my life for nobody but me, then you can rock them. I feel like there's always this tinge of a person who is wearing the waifu armor, let's call it, okay? And it just seems like it's not a life he wants to live. You know, it's like he's like, I'll do it. This is something I enjoy, but this is the only shred of happiness that I'm wearing on my chest right now. And I'm like, okay, seems like a tinge of sorrow here somewhere. But, you know, hopefully it all works out. Yes. But also, sometimes there's like, I like how when people make a design, like I think I seen on the Anime Man on the Trash Taste podcast. He wears some interesting merch sometimes. It's like it's got like an anime person, but it's kind of like stylized in a way that to me I think that's more charming, you know. Whereas if it's just like a big old anime tittied waifu on your chest with like a decal or something, it's like, oh, okay, I don't know if I can really get behind this. But the other stuff maybe the other stuff that can actually have a nice style to it, which I like. He is sick. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so what, does he have like some sort of residual cancer or something like that? Gotcha. Which is that why it makes sense why like he just passes away and like people are like, oh, okay, well Arthur Morgan died. I was hoping it'd be cool if like Arthur Morgan was just clever and just decided to like get the fuck out of America, like entirely, just leave. Because that was one of the things that's like, you're still staying in like the general vicinity of this place. Well, you should just get the fuck out, like, now. Like, let's settle down, like, 5 acres away from, like, a city that has police that know us. Like, what? Shit's madness, anyways. He is sick, is about to die anyway, but he keeps trying to make Dutch see that things aren't gonna end well until one event takes place, and during the battle between the military and the Indian guy, pins Arthur to the ground and is about to get stabbed, isn't about to stab him, and Dutch looks Dutch looks and walks away, leaving Arthur to die. Luckily, someone comes to save. Okay, wow. So that's a moment where it's like, it's no bother saving him anymore. Okay, interesting. That's powerful, man. I can't. Ooh, oh yeah, see that? Yeah, we got level increase. There we go. Losing it says, I'll show you one in Discord. I have it's like a cool 02 shirt. It's got like, there's like a classic thing that they do to make it less cringe, which is like they make it black and white and they put like a red text on it that says like senpai or something. And you're like, that's trendy. But I kind of get it. It makes it better than just like a skin pigment person in a bikini or something on your clothes, you know? No grin. So the plot device is used to kill off is the end, as he ends up getting tuberculosis. Okay, I don't know what that is, and it's really bad. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, yeah, okay. So it. Okay, maybe I just seen something that like it showed him like everyone. You're allowed to like grow your beard and stuff in that game. So maybe I just seen an ending where somebody like grayed out his hair or something, or maybe that's what I probably seen. I probably seen a fan ending of it, where people were like, I don't like the way this ends. Arthur just goes to a farm, and he dies slowly over the years, is getting older, has a nice fulfilling life. That's a good question, though. Why the fuck did not any of these bandit people get the fuck out of the Americas? Like, what the absolute shit? They're all like in a knee shot of each other. Like, one was in Mexico, but like, I'm talking other side of the fucking equator, my guy. Like, all out of there. Out of there. Come with a different name. Yeah. Especially when all of them are like wanted. Like, hugely. Fluff says, are you aware of how the first Red Dead ends? It's a similar epilogue. Oh, really? Does he have like a... Okay. Do they keep the coolest thing about Red Dead that most people who are big fans of the show, game, know about? In Red Dead, there was the original Red Dead Redemption, with Marston. There was a specific character where if you met him, he was basically death, or God. People are kind of like up in arms about what it is, but basically, it's weird because like contextually why it doesn't make the most sense, because like Marston like shoots at him for no reason, but he also is like consistently right and knows shit. But people are like speculative if it's like the God of Death, and I wonder if there's a similar side quest like that in the. I feel like they would have to do it because it's such a. People love it. Like, I love it too. It's such a cool little tiny Easter egg. You could miss this side quest, this encounter. It's not a side quest, it's an encounter. You could easily miss it, and it's one of the coolest, eeriest things ever too. Because it's the guy who like points. He basically tells you the end of the game before the end of the game happens, and it's just really well done. Oh, a gnat flew in my eye. Oh, I need to drink water, dude. I have been Yeah, I don't think we're getting any sort of new melee weapon, so I might have misunderstood what was dropping. Or maybe it just only drops from the weapon wheel now, so now there's an incentive to actually grind the chaos chambers, which is something. Not a lot of something, but something. Peg leg, no. Frying pan, no. There's another twinkle here. More peg leg, no. What is this? Peg leg, no. Yeah, no. Nothing. Nothing for me. Yeah, Fluff, we're just gonna run it. We're not gonna try to get shards. We're just gonna right through. Water me. Water, man. It's too much water. Sorry about that. Lone Singlet says, no, it's a blue shirt with clouds on it, and 02 is just free falling. I'll send it to you on stream. Okay. Well, I'll try. We'll look at it at the end if you remind me. But yes. Also, did the thing I sent you, Lone Syndicate, work? Yes. That is all I will say. We don't need to go into it. Chaos Trial, is that right? Chaos Trial? I think it should be right. Yeah, Chaos Trial. Is it acceptable with the outcome that it gave you? Knowing you probably found a better version of the thing I sent you, but yeah. Are you referring to the mystery man? Like it's this guy at the top with a top hat? Yeah. He shoots him twice and he ends up like there's 2 gravestones. That's where people say that he might have killed, like, made God pissed or something. Yeah, or maybe it's death. Maybe if you shoot death, he's just like, bitch, you're dead. I'll take however much you shoot me. I'll take from you. And it's like, God damn, death, calm down. Jeez, it's mean as hell. Anyways, But I think, Fluff says, yeah, I think the patch notes state the wheel has a higher chance for DLC rewards. Okay, yeah, because that's brutal. We ran the dice a lot and I got 1. So I think that means it's probably, and actually it makes sense. That makes sense that it gives an incentive for you to actually at least play some of the new Chaos Chambers now that there's 3. So you can pick your poison. Ugh. Sorry, I got heartburn. I also got it's not even that, I just got burps. Healing Vengeance. I guess we don't have to make it leap. But I think it may be solely the wheel. Yeah. Lone Ticket says, yeah, someone like that happened, but it's more of a random encounter. These 3 guys on the side of the road when it was riding past asked for money. After I gave some to the guy, he said, "Watch out," and a man with no nose is drawing in on you. The man with no nose, Voldemort? You getting chased by fucking Voldemort? What's happening? I don't blame Arthur for being like, what? Excuse me? I am a trained murderer. What? A guy with no nose? That's such a... granted, if he said top hat, I'm sure Arthur would be like, what the fuck? It's the most unhelpful thing? We live in the fucking... whatever time period this is. Huh. I had one that, I think you help a guy out, and he tells you, to move out of the way, and you do it, and then you see, a fucking... I don't know what it is, if it's such a bunch of bullets start going crazy. That game had so many fun encounters that you could easily miss, which is kind of good and annoying at the same time. Where one of them is a woman screaming, and a part of me always am like, I'll save you, but I'm gonna hog tie you first. Okay, because I don't know what I'm about to get into. And of course, it ends up being a fucking ambush, because there's 3 rocks, and you're like, these fuckers. And yeah. That's one of those games I wish had I think it'd be fun for modding. I think GTA has some, but again, every game can be modded. It's just that whether it's easy to do or a nightmare, and most of the time it's a nightmare. It doesn't have any engine-based tools that anyone can kind of start to understand and unravel. It's kind of like Bethesda gives people, creation kits, stuff like that. The man with no nose is drunk. Lone Snigget says, that I haven't tried it yet. I've been into Witchcraft Works, and oh man, what an anime like GRINN. Thank you for suggesting it. Dude, I think it's gonna be so good, Lone Syndicate. It looks so good. It looks so good every time I seen it. Sorry, I talked to you. I talked to my boys about it a long time ago. Fluff was there, I think, and I think Nub was there. And Nub was like, he took the wind out of my sail. Okay, he was like, it doesn't seem like my kind of show. And I'm like, why? And he's like, it just seems like this. And I was like, he makes some good points, but it looked neat. and yeah, so the fact that you're like, it actually is good, and vindicating me a little bit, I'm excited for it again. But no, it looked awesome. It looked awesome. Anyways, yes. Lone Syndicate says, death has no nose, GRINN. He was referred to death, I think. Okay. There is like a spoopy thing that they also found in the files. Or in the lore. I remember seeing a video where it's like you go and do this side quest and Arthur comes back to like this creepy portrait. Maybe that's what he's mentioning. That's what it was. I don't know if that video ever found that out. I just remember seeing a video where it's just like, hey guys, I found this, like, I did this side quest and it basically has this painting. And that makes sense. That's the final connecting thread, I think. I'm sure they figured it out now, but the video I watched, I don't know if they were put it together, but yeah, there's like a eerie side quest that you could do where you basically were taken eventually to a creepy shack that had like a painting. And if that guy is the guy who says death is painting you, then that's the connecting thread that tells you, yeah, you're in this creepy shack and it's death, and death is painting Arthur. Why? Arthur seems like out of all of them, he's like kind of fucked up, but not like unredeemable. You know what I mean? Like out of all the like Red Dead Redemption, Arthur I think is absolutely redeeming. Granted, Marston was kind of like, Marston didn't make the most sense to me in terms of story. Like, how the fuck do you not know that these people are going to absolutely shit on you? Like, it's like, what? I don't know. Oh, that I haven't tried. Oh, yeah, Lone Say, you have to tell me if they've made that connecting thing yet, because I have a distinct memory of there being like a quest and there being like a painting in the middle of a shack, and it's like but that makes sense if that's the connection to that, because I don't think that person's ever did that. Interesting. I bet it's there now. I bet there's a person who's connected the dots and probably has told you because that was a big video that when it came out, because that's such a good game, Red Dead Redemption, that so many people were like, what? I missed this side quest entirely. It's so cool. It gives so much context to like, and that one side quest gave so much like depth to the world, you know? I think those games always fall short on that premise. Like, that to me is the best idea, when there's like a secret ending where like somehow Arthur actually was kind to the right person in the right time. And therefore you basically gave like God took mercy on you or something and gave you a nice hand, you know? That to me is like where it's like, oh, that's cool. That makes sense. Whereas sometimes you do something and like to get a secret ending, you like grab a larva of a snake, and it's like it's like a worse ending. But it's like, fuck it, it's secret. And you're like, what? That's not. It makes me happy at all. Like, the anime makes me hate anime when it's a dude saving the girl, because the girl is risking his life, because this dude is risking his life to save girl, and girl is like, cool, later. Yeah, right, man. Yeah, that's right. Same shit I was thinking. Me and Lone Syndicate have watched too much types of anime, we'll call them harem shows, where it's just like, goddamn, these goddamn kings out here, okay, these fucking bitches, these horrible people who are like, you've died for me 50 times. I'm not going to be honest with my feelings, even though I'm into you, but I'm just going to hide all the time. No. The show that we're talking about, it's called Witchcraft Works. I wish it got dubbed, goddammit. Yeah, it's basically like a reverse of the trope. So basically it's like a fucking girl who's like a wizard knight, who's like an all-powering whatever. And actually, Lone Syndicate, you have to tell me about the ending when you eventually get there, because the ending to me makes me feel like, because the thing that the show I think is going to make me feel when I watch it, as I'm going to love the power fantasy of like this girl just being a fucking bamf. But I think I will eventually get to the point where I'm like, it's kind of annoying to see like the damsel in distress always. Like, I feel that way even when it's like a dude coming in and saving people, you know? That's why, like, that's something I think harem shows have figured out at this point, where it's just like, the people who the main protagonist is going out of his way to do nice things to is also a bad ass, you know? Where in the end of the as Witchcraft Works, not spoiling it, but I do think that I will be double satisfied, because the main character has stuff that goes down where like, okay, all right, let's happen, let's make it happen. Yes, so I think it's gonna work out. But you have to let me know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe we do end up feeling like, I wish our main character had like some sort of glow up, something, just to have a balanced relationship, because it's a very skewed. I will say, Lone Syndicate, in the show thus far, have you seen anything that would indicate why she is so like head over heels, or is it just because he like has the soul of a fucking whatever in him, or whatever the plot line is? I only see Ava, so I only know a baseline or whatever the hell it looks like. Fluff says, so in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's a prequel to Red Dead Redemption. Arthur was never seen in Red Dead Redemption, and similar to playing as Jack Marston's son, you play as someone else in the app. Really? Who is it? Fucking Arthur Morgan is like the epitome of what most men would like to be, I think, in terms of masculinity. Just like got a great fucking jawline, everything. Okay, get shit done, good values, all that, you know. So I wonder what the baseline is going to be for who replaces him. Is it like, because that was always the thing that I disliked, is like Marston's son looks like worse than Marston, you know, and Marston doesn't really look great. So as like design wise, you know, even if you put him in some, you know, cute clothes, he's still like, ew, his character looks like withered, which is also awesome. Like, it's cool to play a character that's just kind of like been through it, but also kind of want to see a character have a glow up, you know what I mean? Crazy says, I got some of the new items, but they are kind of meh. I got the new spell that's yeah, man, that one's interesting, but I same as me, man. I don't know. Do you think it's scaling off of companion damage, Crazy? I feel like it might be. Or yeah, because I had a cracked spell build. I found it was okay. It's just okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. Just fine. You know, and I'm like, that's not what we want. We want it to be fucking the best. What's good, Beastie? Beastie, my man. Dude, also Crazy. Dude, have y'all ever tried the whole like G Fuel, that whole realm, that whole like gamer supplement things? Have y'all ever tried those? I'm trying to pick my chat's brain about them, because I ordered some, and I wanted to see if it was not worth. Alone Syndicate says, also, where do you want me to send the picture? Just sure to DM me. You can either DM me on my my actual like account, or you can put it in the share or GRINN tab, one where you guys always just show me like your dogs and cats and shit. That one works too. Lone Singlet says, GRINN, I finished it this morning, and it is easily in my top 5. Oh, you finished it. Oh, you did finish it. Okay, so yeah. So am I right about the glow up, or is it not quite, does it not quite hit? I'm hoping, like, because at the end, he kind of looks like a baby the whole time. Like, he's like, it's the damsel in distress, where he's like, I can't do anything. And it's like, okay. And he just makes her look great all the time. Except his, like, I think is this how women feel about like the damsel in distress idea? Like, where it's like, oh my god, he's doing everything for me. It's so amazing. I'm the best. What commitment? What a thing. And I'm like watching this anime that's a reverse of that, and I'm like, man, she's real one. She's in the trenches. Okay, constantly giving essentially. But I wanted to know if it actually if the main character at the end actually like became more than just like a damsel essentially. But that's crazy that it got in the top 5, man. I can't wait to watch. I hope it gets dubbed, man. I hope it gets dubbed. I know I'm gonna love it. I know you would love it too. That's why I was like, you gotta watch this one. But actually, I recommended that to you before I knew more about what you liked in terms of shows. So I'm happy that one sunk up, because yes. Mage staff there too. Mage staff as well, but lots of mage staffs. Also got a little tiny knife. It's Dawn Guard, yep. A Dragon Guard. Frying pan, nothing. Ooh, let me know when you're done, Fluff. I don't throw up. I drink more water. What's happening? Oh, Fluff says, since you asked, you play as Jonah Marston? Who's that? Who is that, Fluff? Is that you play as a lady? That's cool. Is that a man? John. Is it John? Wait, never mind. You play as John Marston. I read Jonah. Is that a woman? So wait, John, the same guy from play. Okay, yeah, okay, John Marston. Okay, weird. I don't know if I like that. And is that him just vibing with his family? Okay. But we know he dies, so it's just a fucking death loop we're stuck in. I guess. Okay, so he plays John Marston. Is he like yeah, because John Marston's pretty young in the thing still. Is he like a younger version of John Marston, I guess? Yeah, because John Marston, I guess that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, because John Marston, we basically missed the time of like serenity that he had as he was trying to like, you know, create a good life for him and his family. So I guess that makes sense. Guys, my God, we have to grind so much of this, man. It is pain. Yeah, we're at 37. We have like, we have 50. It's at 50 is the cap. Golly. Crazy says, and nah, I don't touch G Fuel. I'm broke. I stick to soda or something cheap, sparkle drink that doesn't have caffeine or high sugar. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. I was just wondering. I remember someone. I think maybe it was Matism who got down with the things, the G Fuel stuff. Lone Seeker says, with their past. Like the bits of things they show, it seems like they are childhood friends, but they don't go into it that much. But the reason they can't remember is because their memories were wiped. Okay, so she has this like base enjoyment for him based on like a past like relationship that she doesn't remember, but she still has the residual feelings of those. Maybe because she goes hard right off the cuff. Like she becomes a pincushion basically at the beginning. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, is this how stupid it looks when you're like a dude in an anime just dies for a random girl? It's like, dude, calm down. What? This is not what genetic survival is anything about. You know what I mean? Awful sentiment. You'd be the first one to get off the fucking food chain. Your generation would end with you. Hundo P. BC says, then again, I'm always... Oh, wait, what did BC say? Nah, I just tried a monster for the first time a bit ago, and it felt nothing, sadly. Yeah, what? Wait, a monster? Yeah, I feel like monsters either make you feel something or feel sick. But nothing. Do you drink a lot of caffeine, generally speaking, BC? Because maybe that's it. Maybe you just have a high tolerance for caffeine. Your body's like... We are trained to flush 80% of this, because if not, we would die. So, yeah. Then again, I always either packed with energy or drained, so an energy drink is the least things I need. Oh, I see, gotcha. So you're either packed with energy or drained. Gotcha. So you're either like ready to rock or you're exhausted. Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, it must have been Matism, I think. I think Matism, I thought I heard talk about how much he vibes with energy drinks. Crazy says, if the online thing works, I found out a new way to farm the wheel stuff. Ooh. You can also get cosmetics if you do it as well. Okay, interesting. Crazy. Yeah, no, crazy. I have all my gears primordial right now because I just downloaded the save editor. It's kind of like the Gibbs save editor, almost exactly. You can change weapon parts. You can change just about everything to a spell if you wanted to. But my favorite thing about it is you can just change it to. You have to. It's also PC based. But you can change your. What is it called? PC based. What was I saying? Oh yeah, sorry. You can just change it to Ascended. So you can go to Chaotic, Primordial. You can go Ascended if you wanted. I didn't do Ascended because I thought, hey, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But no, that was actually, I should have done that. That way it would have been current damage-wise. But yeah. Granted, I'm also waiting for... if you were to go look at it now, though, it has to be updated every DLC. So I don't think the save file will work now. I'll try it probably tonight to see. But if it can, that's awesome. But I do think the save editor right now only lets you push your character to level 25. or 35, whatever the chaos level max is. I think it's chaos level 25. So yeah, you would have to grind. I'd have to wait until till like patch 3 comes out, where it's like, okay, now you can just flip a switch and get all of your gear to level 30. Or all of your base will be at chaos level 50 without having to participate in the grind to chaos level 50, which I don't know, man. I don't have any fun doing the chaos grind. So if I could boycott it, I'd be happy. I'd be really happy. I'm all for like proving that you can deal the sufficient damage. I'm not happy with the idea that you have to grind a whole 50 levels, because like me and Fluff are not having any issue at all here. And we're still having to go one at a time, and it doesn't make you feel like, hey, like there's something to be said for a grind that you mentally consider worth grinding. This was the thing that was like so good about getting like the unkempt herald. It's because like eventually when you seen that gold thread drop, you were like, and was it the right one? It was. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was still damn good because legendaries were fucking good. You know, whereas now it's just like there's fuck tons of legendaries, and it's like synthetic duration increase. You know what I mean? And maybe some people love that. Some people love the feeling of like, oh, I'm grinding because we all have to grind, rather than I'm grinding for something that I'm interested in grinding for. You know? He does has his moment where he wants to get stronger, and in the end he does end up using his power to save the world, the whole town, but he doesn't do it on his own. Yeah, I was worried about that shit where it's just like, yes, you are strong, but only through me. I'm like, oh, it is actually like 100% a reverse trope thing, which is kind of like, ew. but no, yeah, I hope it's good, because to me, I seen the ending clip of it, and it looks rad. Like the show looks really well designed. But like he's fucking like, he's on like Lone Cynic, you know what I mean? He's on that king shit, like for a moment. You're like, god damn. But if it's only unlocked at like a spark, kind of lame, but also it's still probably the journey that was cool. Fluff says it's a prequel, so you get to see John get away from the gang and tries to start fresh with his family. Oh, that's nice. So these are like the epilogue is actually more than just like. Yeah, the Red Dead epilogues have always been actually quite long, actually, so I guess that makes sense. But I hope it kept that concurrent idea, because it was always nice seeing, like, you know, what do you call it? I guess there's the epilogue, and then there's, like, the second ending, like, where he finally wins, and then he's like, okay, I'm just going to be a dad now. And you're like, this is so nice and peaceful. Wouldn't it be nice if it just came to a close now? And the game's like, no, no. Bitches need to die. You're like, okay. And then you watch your boy get shot to shit. Now, granted, you also take out a lot of them people. So you kind of die as like a fucking animal legend, which is pretty cool. Granted, the bastards that murdered you are still bastards that get to live. Granted, I wish that was always a side quest. They could have wait, maybe that was actually. Was there ever a side quest where like the kid? I guess the guy was old, so he might have just died from old age. But yeah, did what's his name ever like what do you call it? Get vengeance for John getting like betrayed by that guy. I feel like there might have been something there. I thought it might have been a side quest that was hard to do. It was like off somewhere. Lone Syndicate says Ayaka, the main girl, she is the best. Like she looks out for the dude. She protects him, helps him with the studies, teaches him. Yeah, no, she's definitely like the epitome of whatever, like what is a female Giga Chad for sure. Just like, I don't mean this in a way that is. Also, she's like Lady Diamatris as well. She's like just fucking gigantic. She is like, yeah, yes, and also she's also like the what is it called? Like the vice, like the school vice president, which is just like, again, stacked in terms of like absolute superiority complex kind of shit, except not mean in any way. Teaches him magic to defend himself, and they are also bound. Yeah, that's the one thing that to me I was like, oh, that's kind of, as much as I get it, it's kind of also pretty. I don't know. I don't like it when it's like we're forced to be together. It's like marriage. You know, it's like, well, there's a cool part of marriage, which is like I choose to be with you because I like you a lot. That kind of idea, and I'm willing to work through our bullshit, and you be my be my person for the rest. Yeah, that's nice. But then, like, when it's like, yes, but now you have to stay with me. That's the awful part about it. That's like the, hey, you're stuck with me, rat. It's like, ew, this is not good. This is very toxic. So I'm not sure if I like the whole, like, now you're forced into, like, this contract to be together. And I'm like, Again, I think it was also, like, a tropey thing. Like, I think the show is intentionally doing the good tropes and the quote-unquote bad tropes. Just not bad, just, like, it's something that in, like, the female heroine who's basically just like a, so it kind of sounds horrible, but like an object for the one dude to kind of just be like, hey, I'm the hero, so you're stuck with me, or something. You know, that's present in a lot of mythos, like you see, like the hero or King Arthur, that kind of stuff. Lone Snake, BC says, nope, don't care for coffee or tea, really. I have really bad ADHD. Oh, that makes sense, Beastie. That makes sense. Yeah, okay, that adds up. I was about to say, you just juice with energy, but ADHD adds up. That makes sense. Not like you have ADHD. Gotcha. Makes sense. No, I mean, like, actually, no, that's kind of what I meant. Actually, I'm like, yeah, no, Beastie is on cloud 9 most times I've ever communicated with him, which is lovely. Having people like that in your life that are excited to be alive, or excited to exist, or just communicate, or just about the things that they enjoy is a treasure, and one I appreciate within you, Beastie. Lone Snake, it says, as they are chosen to each other, she is basically, as they are close to each other, she is God, basically. She can never die, and she borrows his magic power he has tapped into for herself, and makes herself more powerful. Like she actually, I guess that makes sense. That feels better, although I kind of also am like, well, wait, hold up, wait a minute. You just taking all the power, then that's kind of not okay. It's kind of fucked up, but maybe she's like, hey, you can't handle it yet. I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for it. God damn it, these meteors, sometimes the most impossible thing to hit with. Oh, I can also do dark magic, I think, actually. That could actually work out much better. We'll do that, though, for our last run. My nose is all clogged. Oh. Crazy says, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, but the Chaos Chambers being too much. Not having any interest and drive to do them. To grind the wrath. It's like they don't feel special. Like Borderlands 2 was, I honestly didn't like how it is. It's like a SpongeBob meme where Patrick said, I won an award for absolutely nothing. Yeah, no, I agree with that, man. Yeah, and it's funny because, like, I don't think none of this is unchangeable, you know? Like, if they just made it so that there was a switch that you could flip on Chaos Chambers that decreased the shit out of legendaries, but increased to like a 98% for you to at least get Primordial, especially if you're at the max difficulty. And then like a decent chance to get, to like a 50% chance to get Ascended. That way, like, yes, because my biggest problem right now is that, like, I'm tired of seeing legendaries that mean nothing, you know? I want it when it does spawn for it to be a stupid high chance for me to be like, it's like Ascended or it's Primordial, you know? Because like to work your ass off to like push through level 50 at this point we're gonna get to, and then for you to basically get a chaotic drop consistently, like almost all the time, it's like, that's not like, I'm working harder to get less. Like, how does this is basic idea, like the fact that, like, yeah, they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, no, this is something that most people, no matter what you enjoy in playing video games, can feel, that it just feels like it doesn't have as much impact or worth, you know? Lone Singer says, maybe a top 3 for female. Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like they really stacked the deck, though, because there's not many characters like that, Lone Syndicate. I think that's why me and you both are like, this is awesome. Because there's not many characters in anime or in storytelling there where it's like a female that is designed to basically be, how do I put it? Because I don't think she's designed to basically be like, how do I put it? Like here's a powerful female. It's almost like let's define what is a good character? What are the things that makes people happy and like a person strong and a person likable and a person all that? And it's usually like they're dependable, they're honest, they care a lot, they're willing to put themselves in harm's way for the people that genuinely would do the same for them. They work hard, they're diligent, they're loyal, they're like, these are the things, and then they're like, let's just make that a character, you know? And I think that's kind of like the hero archetype in storytelling, like the male knight or something. That's the hero archetype. And in this instance, they just flip that formula back on itself, and not a lot of shows do that. Like, not a lot of shows, in my experience, have actually made a point to make a character like seem genuinely powerful or genuinely human and good. It's usually oh, they fall into a trope of like being tsundere or something, you know, or they fall into a trope of being this way or that way, or like, you know, they're manipulative, or they misunderstand things, where it's like, what if you just showed a person who is like a fully actualized human being that went through trials and tribulations and became like it's almost like this is exactly how I would like to put it. I feel like every single woman, in anime at least, has a mental illness. And that is what we're sold. It's like mental illness. And like a woman who actually has her shit together, who actually has like a fucking head on her, like killing it, has been through hell and back, has been through shitty relationships and knows herself deeply. We very rarely ever encounter that at all. We do not see healthy people in storytelling. We see horrible people who are mentally deranged and have various problems that they refuse to sort out. And we very rarely see an actually complete human being. And one that is confident, one that knows themselves, one that doesn't need you to be happy but wants you to be a part of the world that they want to build. That is like a good relationship. That is something that people should strive for. A lot of people tend to be drawn to, like, sounds kind of bad, but mental illness. People who are suffering, because it's an innate human thing to want to help those that are suffering. But it also could be a little rough. A little, it could be maybe not the most healthy thing for you. Maybe we all shouldn't get into relationships when we're not, you know, in a place where we can actually manage our own mental escape. You know, maybe. That's why the whole idea of like having a friend, or like so many people want, like in two dates or like 3 dates, people usually decide whether like they're interested in pursuing a relationship with somebody, which is insane. This is a person that you're genuinely gonna hopefully have a relationship with. That shit you should try to like understand that person, make sure that you know that they're a fucking functioning human being, you know? Because if not, then you just could get real bad, it could get real messy, you could get hurt, you could get fucked up in every kind of way. But anyways, yeah, like to me, it's funny that like I think the best idea is to pursue good people, to try to find good people in the world, whether that's friends, for like dude friends, female friends, whatever, and then to look at them and see if they are someone who you also find attractive, and then to see if you can pursue that. But instead, people just go to like, let's skip all the like understanding if a person's good or not, or like fully like healthy, mentally healthy, and like fulfilled and etc. And then let's skip all that and let's just jump right to being in a relationship. And I'm like, this seems like a not thought through thing. It seems like a problem. I don't mean to be coming across as judge, by the way. I think that may be how it comes. I apologize. But yes, that is the kind of sense that unfortunately I get with a lot of things. But I think that's also why the character is quite good in that anime me and Lone Syndicate are talking about. They genuinely feel like very rarely in storytelling do we see even a male character who is actually like actually knows themselves pretty well, and is not like trying to make a person have like a concession to be with them, which is nice. Let's do that, and also let's switch to I wanted to try some Glacial Cascade. I wanted to try, let me see, what was this do? Electrical and dark magic? Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe let's stick with dark magic. That'll be fun. Slap that on. Lightning and dark magic. That'd be good for shields. Lightning and dark magic. Where is that? I passed it. Is it? Yes. Yes, and it's primordial. Hell yes. Switch back to dark magic thing. I have to use the washroom. Talk amongst yourselves for a hot minute. That should be fine. It's dark magic, right? Right, yes. No, it's frost. Damn it. That's dark magic. Talk about yourself. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the water. I'll be back. I'm back. Ugh. Ah, my fucking ass, dude. I did legs yesterday, and it's just, ow. No, I don't get sore anymore, but I'm fucking real sore today. Ah. Ooh, okay. How are you? What's happened? Beastie bursts out of a box, as he does. Ooh. Fluff says the epilogue in Red Dead Redemption 2 was Jack getting okay, was it? Okay, good. That, yeah, I thought when I said that, I was like, I think that might have actually happened. Me. Chaos Chambers should be good. Is that? No, maybe not. Let me just check. I gotta double check. Is it Chaos Chambers? I think it is, because it let us go up in difficulty. Yeah, normal chaos trial. That's what we want. Good. All right, good. Chaos trial. Go. Go. Ah. Like, he doesn't want her to get hurt, and there was this one scene where he says, "Don't hurt," and the enemy is like, "Don't you understand that you could get stabbed, disseminating, and her ripped out." What? And her heart ripped out? Jesus Christ! And he still would die, but he thought, knowing this is that this still can't. I can't read. And this still can't hurt to get hurt like this. Oh, gotcha. So yeah, so he's basically like, I'll die as long as you're okay. So it's kind of like when the damsel is like, save me, asshole. You're like, fuck off. You're awful. Whereas he was like, no, please, like, no one, you don't have to suffer for me. That makes people like, yeah, suffer for you. That's what we do now, because you said not to. Okay. I get it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually, Lone Snake. That's hilarious, Lone Snake, because it seems like it's an actual like representation for the criticism against most shows where it's like the hero who's like, I'll save you no matter what, you know. But in this instance, you're saying that he's like, no, like even though you're immortal, you're still gonna feel pain. What are we talking about? Stop it. So I like that a lot, actually. That makes sense. Yeah, I can see how it could be really charming. But it does seem like it's a love letter in a lot of ways to those shows, in a sense of not even just being like, you know, paying homage to tropes, but also being like, this is the kind of best lens that this trope could be looked at through. Like the fact that pain, like that's something I love about. I always thought it would be such a fun thing to talk about when it comes to support. Like I had an idea for a story that I wanted, if I ever like wrote a book or whatnot, it would be one of the thousands I have written down. But it'd be the idea of, I would love to see like the for the main character to be like this badass girl with like a rock and roll t-shirt with like a short haircut, with her hair dripped to the side, not too long by here, shaved sides, fucking ear piercings, all that, like kind of like a rock and roll, punk rock kind of vibe, more like rock and roll and less like spiky neck kind of screamo weirdness. You know what I mean? Like the classic rock, not screamo hellish nightmare. That, but she is a healer. She's a support character. So it would be a story written from the perspective of what the support character would be in a situation in which this character is having to learn them. I know a cool thing I thought would be for storytelling would be to not only have a story looked through for the main character being like a healer, but for there to be like kind of this main character, and I kind of thought it'd be cool to do like an homage to Berserk, because for the for the side character in their like team, for him to have basically his only trait in this world is that he is numb. Like he basically can't feel much of anything, but that also means he's like an idiot and fights like an animal, but also like it dies. And the reason why I brought that up, that I thought that'd be a cool trope to explore, is because there's something that's kind of like passive within medieval things. And I would love if there was like a joke about this in like medieval stuff, but I haven't seen many people who talk about it. But say if you could heal somebody, how cool that would be, right? You like somebody like just gets their arm blown off, but you could heal them. And I'm talking deep healing. Like you could like literally get your arm blown off and you just repair your arm, your bones, everything. Do you think the healer would be the first pick in a party in that instance? Most people would say yes, like a healer would be so valuable. But the one thing that people are forgetting is pain. So even if you're a warrior, like it's like, to me, I think more people in a world where they truly understand the frailty of pain, they would understand, I don't want to be the healer. I would rather have a shield or an armor or someone to take the damage for me, because if my skin gets melted off, it's terrifyingly painful. So even a healer in this fantasy world would still be like, I'd rather have like a tank, someone who can keep me from feeling pain. It's not the fact that I can be repaired, it's the fact that pain hurts, and I don't want anything to do with that. So I thought it'd be cool to have a character that basically, like, it's like the trial and tribulation of a healer, of like a person, and there's a lot of stuff you could do with a healer that's fun, like the fact that healers are only as really good as their people considering them to be useful, essentially. So if you had like you could do a fun, and I always, in my head, I have a problem with this, I'm sure most people have at this point, but Harry Potter has ruined me for, like, whenever I think of a fun scenario, it's usually like a school that does this, a school that tries to hone guild, like an adventurers guild school, but like done in like a cool hybridized kind of social kind of way, where it's like multiple cultures and different styles have kind of be melded together. So there's this punk rocker chick who's kind of a subvert your expectation of what a healer would look like, coupled with a side character, kind of like other main character, that basically has is like fights like a barbarian berserker, but also is numb. But also there to be like 3 episodes that would, or 3 like chapters that show you the frailty that she has to deal with, about like a party, or like a teacher partnering her with some shitty DPSs that are like, that leave her to die, or worse, like she heals them and they're kind of like screaming in agony, and they don't really know that, like, oh, we won because of them, they only think, god damn it, why didn't she heal me faster? Like, I being in pain, I could, like, and it's also not something that people can't understand. Like, if you're missing a limb, you're gonna probably throw up because it's nightmare hell, like, just the fact that you can be repaired is not enough to take away the freakish amount of pain you're gonna feel, So I always thought that'd be a fun trope to mess around with, this concept, and then for there to also be a character that's kind of like the side character / like heroine, I guess, but like, what is it called? The male person to pursue, for him to be this kind of person that values what she can do, but also be one of the people that can actually maximize the idea of a healer, but also to be the person that kind of can go out of his way, like, because again, like a healer. Like, there's so much power and so much fun to be had within that story, because a healer can literally change the battlefield entirely. Like, you can have one person and a healer, and they can kill thousands and thousands and thousands, especially in this world, which I was wanting to write a story about in this way. But a story where healers are actually just as cracked as a DPS. But if the healer dies, then everything's gone, and that's the kind of the thing that she's dealing with in the story. I think that could be fun, is the fact that she's just like, what the fuck? Like I'm doing my best, but people keep and also not knowing how to really express, like, because there is this background idea of like, I'm asking people to be in pain, to like take a bullet for me, and that's kind of fucked up in general to ask. And then for there to be this kind of derpy berserker dude who is just like innately that. I thought it would be a fun story, but yeah, I think there's, and also to me, I think it's one of those things where you're like, why has nobody made a story about a support character? Because it could be so fun, but yet nobody does it. But maybe it's because it's more complicated than I give it credit for or something. But yeah. Also, I don't know if I did a good job at explaining the thought of with this weird story that I wrote down in the jot notes. But yeah, but just the idea of like how a healer would be, how healing wouldn't just be the answer to your problems, because you have to consider pain. And how most people would try to avoid pain at every possible cost, and then also to how do you find someone who can perfectly harmonize pain, and then also for there to be amazing like drop the mic moments where like these 2 like C rank combatants in this school fucking dominate like an S tier rank, because they both harmonize perfectly with each other, because they both maximize and know what the other one's offering enough to where they can basically maximize it, Anyways, and side note, the devil has a waifu devil lady sealed inside of him, which is why he has so much power. But yeah, dude was willing to sacrifice his eyes to save the girl. Even the devil was shocked. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm having these moments like that. That way, it's like, okay, you are as into it as the other, because I always hate that. One thing bothers me when somebody is like a third wheel, like when somebody is so hopelessly in love with their partner, but their partner is kind of just like, yeah, it's fun. It's like we're good, and like it is an imbalance. An absolute imbalance. Also, yeah, this is the insanity of Twister, by the way. Whenever he comes over here. Also Pixies. Pixies might be doing a lot of that, as well as Fluff and his damn hammer. His hammer that nukes the world. The girl is stronger even without her magic, because there is this moment where she could use magic, but went against this strong enemy, and she definitely feels like Alone City. She definitely feels like Vampire plus Rosary, like that energy of like the vampire who's just like, I am built to be a god. Get away from me, all right? I could kick you and it's done. There's not like in the viewer's mind, there's not a single bit of like, oh no, what will happen? It's like, no, everything's dying. Everything's dying. Ayaka also shows. I was about to say, yeah, that was the one thing that she did. It did seem like I seen in the show too. She seems like she's not very emotional. She's like stoic, I guess. She's she's kindred. I think that's the one, but you can tell when she is happy, concerned, and so yeah. I imagine her voice actor helps with that too, right? Even just in the Japanese version. If MMOs have taught me anything, healers are the most sadistic and not so secret necromancers. What do you mean? Oh, I see. I guess that makes sense, yeah. Alone Sing, it says, like when she is teaching him magic, they go shopping, and he's like, what's this about? Then later it shows that she made him witch robes and hat and started taking pictures kind of uncontrollable. That's cute. I can't wait. It seems like such a fun time. Again, man, this is one of the things that sucks though. I don't know if it was popular enough to be. Well, I think it was never really out here. It's one of those animes that I think like it's. I don't know what the deal is. I was gonna ask you guys. I don't know if anyone here knows, but like, what's the deal with Korean/Chinese anime? Like, it seems like it's stupid hard to get them to be dubbed here in the West. I don't know if it's Chinese. I think it's Korean though. Korean shows seem to be very anime. I mean, seem to be very hard to get over here in the West and dubbed. And they think it exists because there's like fan dubs and stuff. But yeah. Fluff says, I mean, there is an anime about a support character. What is it? Let me hear it. What is it? What is it? Fate Maker. Ooh, at least it's primordial. That's not that bad. But I have the ability to make all of it good, so it doesn't matter at this point. Goblin pickaxe. No, I feel bad not picking that one up because it's just kind of such a good find. Actually, I'll trap it. I feel bad. Melee attacks explode. Oh, bonk. This is the hammer weapon. There's so much gold threads. I can't see shit. Yeah, I'm definitely convinced that there's none of the one thing. Wailing Banshee. Yeah, I'm ready to go, Fluff. You ready too? Do. What's good, Faceless? Oh, sorry, sour. Lone Singer says, I was about to say, I've watched an anime where the main character is a healer. Which one is it? I'm curious. Because yeah, I haven't seen many animes that have even that premise. Is it like fun, or is it like? Because to me, I want if you're anyone that's ever seen like Overlord or Shield Hero, or there's another Archer one that's similar. Those are all very good. Like, they're just very fun experiences. Where I feel like if they ever do sometimes the healer, I wonder if it's fun, like Overlord, or fun like Shield Hero, where it's like, here's a gamification, but here's also like a character that's endearing, not like an old man who's like, I'll heal you, you know. BC says, healers are so underrated, man. I've never seen a healer buy anything. Healer be anything other than squishy. A little coward. Yeah, no, I agree, man. That needs to be protected. That never wears armor. Yeah, and see, that's the thing that to me I think would be fun in the story too, for like the main character to be like, if you know that like you're the tip of the spear, like if you die, we all die. Then why the fuck aren't you like, stop investing in healing and go train your body to actually like dodge? Because if you die, we're all dead. And sometimes you can't trust that someone's going to protect you. So why not, instead of training attunement, whatever your like magic thing is, why not train your body to actually be dodging? And this would create, like, to me, this is, I love Overlord. Overlord sold me on the idea of subvert expectation, where like you have this healer that looks like a tomboy rocker girl, and then you have her basically turn into like a fucking shredded person as well, like yoked, got abs and shit, wild like that. Like that to me is just a fun concept of bullshittery that I don't know many people that would do. That like misdirect would be really fun, at least to me. But you can have so much fun with the, like, again, there's so many like weird things that people passively know about healers, and so many things that, at least to me, I haven't seen many do when it comes to the whole fantasy realm. Play a D&D cleric and see the true power of a healer. No, again, the whole idea of this thing would be to show like how like a world that undermines the healer, but then for there to be basically a person that maximizes the healer, and showing how like they're the most broken thing imaginable if a person values them and understands in the ways that they're valuable, like understands that I cannot let the healer die, because if they die, we're all dead. So then for there to have a person that's partnering with this healer, but that's like basically getting his head blown off, that's getting his fucking arms ripped off, like just horrible. But as long as he can keep her alive, and also that there's probably like some cool traumatic things that you could talk about, like how horribly she feels for not being able to protect herself in a way, or like always having to be the source of this person's kind of like destruction. But then to not understand that she's the whole reason why they're even okay and able to succeed and able to help all these other people, you know? And there would be a lot of like cool stories that revolve around that. Oh no, I forgot we're supposed to be standing on a thing. Faceless says, in Final Fantasy, I play a healer and tank, and God do die, and you die so much, I sometimes want to leave them in the floor. Yeah. See, again, there's everyone who's played a support knows the pain of a support, so to have a story which is all about, like, in a world of shitty people who don't love supports, there's one fucking guy who's just in the trenches, and 100% knows. How quickly do you think you'd fall in love with that person? I think it'd be pretty quick. It'd be like, I'm in. This person gets it. But BC says, I think just a lack of voice acting. They're severely underpaid and overworked. Last time I checked, but that was about a week ago. I hope it gets better for them, but I haven't heard much about the subject. Okay. Interesting. Okay. To me, I wonder if we'll have that situation, because I think Crunchyroll is now basically having a dub department. It's like inheriting the dub department of Funimation. So yeah. Well, let's get to also, Grant. God dang you! I want to talk to you about these. Talk to you about this at Saturday stream. I'm a safe. So yeah, absolutely. Talk about for the overall top 5 anime. Don't want to end. Gonna read the okay Lone Sing, you have to tell me about the manga, because the manga is the one that I actually might read because it's just such I haven't seen any show that does the trope that this show does at all, you know. So I would love to see that too. So I think I might, again, this is some anime that I have on my list that I like. If I ever did watch the anime and it was that good, I'd chip away at the manga probably, but nothing's been that thus far, because it's always like, yeah, especially nowadays, I feel like if a show even has a slightly interesting premise, there's a high probability, especially with the streaming wars that are currently going on, that show is going to get a season 2. Oh, right. You sons of bitches. Yeah, there is an anime about a healer. The fucking one about R-word and assault. Great. Yeah, no. Also, that's bullshit. He's the most non-healer healer. He basically finds it's the man. Every time I think about that show, I just get fucking mind polluted. It's like when I say one guy, one jar. There it is. It's just like a fucking horrible trip down memory lane. And you're like, God damn it. What's wrong with people? Ugh. You know? Same as shit. Or Man vs. Jars was called, sorry. In an MMO, always play the Revenger class for everything, where you benefit from having a low health, so could be self-sufficient as possible. Yeah, well, to me, that's also the other thing is, I think about like there's so much stuff in support games, so many stuff in like games that I feel like they should add, like something that like when you heal someone else, you are also healing you, or when you like you basically can store damage. Like the more you heal, the more you pocket that damage. You'll just throw it away and repair it. You store it, and then you can like absolutely annihilate someone, given you are constantly being fed, reparative damage. There's stuff like that you could introduce in the show that like would be a cool like answer to, hey, why wouldn't you apply this into like a game that people will actually play a healer in? Lone Tickets. Lone Tickets is also GRINN. During my time watching the anime, I understand what you meant by I don't want to finish the anime because I don't want it to end. That was the whole. Yeah, man. That's when you know when you got it good in. When you're like, I feel the same way. But man, I also feel like it's a sentiment when an anime can make you feel that way, but then also the last episode is so beautiful that you're like, I can wait. You know what I mean? Like this was such an experience. I'll be patient. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Ranker of Kings. Ranker of Kings. To me, I finished it and it made me feel so content with like, all right, okay. As much as I want more, I would like gluttonize everything. I'll wait. You know. And also, I don't think that's profitable. I think it's profitable to leave people like, I need it. I need more. Gluttonous as I am. Whereas, again, what do you call it? That one anime is like, no. I'm going to leave you with feeling fulfilled and content, you know? I think a lot of shows are rewarded for not doing that. Fluff says MMO roles balance tends to put support characters in the light armor, and the roles keep getting tankier and the rest of the party alive. They sometimes get powerful offensive spells and holy white man. Yeah. Those are something that like to me I think is such a fun actual like breakdown of like again there's things about like the shield hero and stuff like that are like here's interesting concepts that kind of exist, and then how can we add on top of that, you know? Because again, I think if you were to introduce the idea of like healers and there being like adventurers or something that don't want to experience pain, I feel like people would not be. Yeah, I feel like most if someone's gonna do a story about healers, I feel like the mass majority of them are just gonna be like, yeah, they can they pull people back from the brink. They wouldn't really talk about the fact that like it sucks to be in pain. Period. So if you were going to pick a tank that would just absorb all of the pain and doesn't even really take damage because he just has a shit ton of armor, over a person that is gonna heal you, but also you're having to choke through like horrific pain constantly, but one is an absolute and the other isn't. Eventually the tank will take enough damage to where he falls, and the healer will basically be endless as long as they can stay alive. BC says, or at least try to protect yourself. So some anime makes it so they're like hot commodity that anybody and everybody wants and needs, that there aren't many choice to choose from, and they're all in the party. What do you mean? What do you mean? BC? I've never seen those shows. So wait, you're saying like there's anime where like the healer is shown to be like a hot commodity? I've always seen healers in shows that are like additional, but it's usually like when the fighting is over, they run over like, I can heal you. It's gonna take 20 minutes, and you're like, what? Or like, yeah, it's like it's not like in real time, like the coolness of healing. Like, I just like it's like, okay, somebody throws like a fucking alchemist bomb at somebody, at a group of kids or something, and then the fucking main guy picks it up with his hands and throws it and it blows his arm off. But then the fucking healer jumps up behind him and his whole fucking arm starts getting repaired. You can see his bone pop through, then his flesh tangle around the bone. And then for him just to gun it at the bad guys. Like, to me, that's something where like, holy fuck, let's go. Like, to me, it incites that feeling of holy shit. If you've ever played Overwatch or something, and you're getting supported by a Mercy who's just fucking like refusing to let you die, and you're like, I'm a god, and you're like, no, you're not. It's her, but yeah, she's good. Is basically where we're at. But yeah. Not the best example, but the only one actual redo of yeah. Because that one is like, to me, if a healer had like also had the ability to like absorb others' powers, which is like, well, what the fuck? Like, yeah, he's basically jack of all trades and not healer, you know. Granted, they do a hard, like, yeah, they show the horror of what it would mean to be like valuable, and the wrong people determine you to be a value, you know. Ugh. Nightmare hell, basically. Am I falling off? I'm in the air. I'm in the air. Quickly! Come closer, you bastard! Come on, spells, come back. There we go. Faceless message is restricted. What happened? Why are you hiding from me? The anime I'm talking about is one I'm sure you don't want to watch. Yeah. That came out this season called Don't Hurt Me, My Healer. It's not Redo Healer though? Redo of a Healer? It's called Don't... What? Yeah, I don't want to watch it. No, thank you. Yeah, no, I don't want it. It's not good. I'm even just thinking about it, and I don't want to know about it. People are fucked up. People are just like, why? What is your problem? Oh! Okay. Okay, so that must be it, hey? I think that's what... I'm starting to realize what spells are. I think you can get... There's like the base version of the spell, which is like ×2 or something. Or no, it's sometimes it has a base of a ×3. But like you can see it says spell charge, and then I think you can get 3 of those. But those are the random things you can get. So I could have another one that is there's spell charge. I could also have one that's critical damage, which could help. But yeah, I don't know if critical damage would beat just having another cast of this spell. Granted, it is channeling cast, so it's not as good for channeling abilities, but yeah, I think that's how it's starting. Well, that's why I think you can only have, I don't think I've ever seen 3 charges and also ×3 that isn't built into ×3. So for instance, time skip, I have, let me show, I just want to see if this makes sense. So we have time skip right here. Click on that. We have time skip right here. We have these 3 traits. So yeah, you guys can see that they can all be filled up. These 3 little like gray points. Boom, boom, boom. So we have spell charge, which gives us 1 more spell. We have 1 base spell. Now we have 2. Now we have critical damage, and we also have extra projectile. So I think we can have... I've seen things that have ×3 spells. So it's spell charge, and then extra projectile, which would be ×2 with 3 charges. I've also seen, I think, ×3 with 2 charges. So I think this is the thing that makes up that. But that's also why you can't have like a ×3 damage extra projectiles, and a ×3 charge, because this is the thing that's taking up this. I think Fluff was telling me this at the very beginning of the game, but this kind of only started to click for me right now when I started seeing the Gibbs save editor kind of stuff and how it makes sense in that way. But that's also why I think I've never seen like 3 charges with that. Because yeah, you would need another thing. And I think if they ever add another rarity of legendary, like pearlescent, I think I could see them adding like 1 more trait here for spell. That way you could have 2 charges and also like ×3 of an ability. But yeah, but yes. Anyway, sorry about that. This. Gotta heal. I'm missing my chat. My chat's talking too fast. God damn, I'm so sorry, Beastie. I see Goblin Slayer checked, did literally nothing. Oh yeah, no, Goblin Slayer's a good example. Good example of an actual healer that did decent. Like, it actually showed, like, this guy, like, making use of what a healer could be in the most graphic way possible, almost, but still. Right, all of these animes are clearly DPS play. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Clearly. Lizica says, never mind, Fluff has already said the name. Oh, is that what? Okay, yeah. So yeah, no, okay, so yeah. I've heard about that show. It's a nightmare hell. Yeah. Fluff says, unfortunately, redo of a healer existence likely makes a proper healer protagonist anime something we'll have to wait for. I was about to say, yeah, dirtied the water at least a bit. That's why I also think if you made it a woman and you made it like a cute punk rocker girl, it'd work. Okay, Also, I think that's like I talked about it like briefly, but to me that's the dichotomy of the story that I think would be fun to tell, is like this punk rocker girl who's healing you, but also for there to be kind of an homage to Berserk. But the thing about Berserk that to me always felt like it seems like there's kind of plot armor, but there's not plot armor. Like he's a savage, he's an animal, he's a monster, he's just fucking going all out. But to me that would make sense if there was like a healer, essentially, if there was some sort of way to repair. Otherwise it kind of just does seem like it's like, fuck it, he can swing this giant sword, fuck it, he just bit a sword. Like, you know, all this stuff, which it's awesome, but just doesn't, to me, like, I feel like there's be a way to dig in really fucking deep to that idea of like, again, if someone throws like a bomb at somebody, or somebody like goes to cast like a super big destructive spell, or someone just to jump into that, gets smashed in the face and like their skull is showing, but then they start to like slowly start to like limp towards the person as they start getting healed, and how that could just be like this feeling of revving up an engine of violence, you know what I mean? And like there being this like unending force of will that you could describe, and also I think it'd be so fun to like, if you were to write this in such a way that like it made it so that the art style changed whenever this specific person was on screen, the kind of like bruiser berserker, to where like it became all the color and all the detail in the world kind of dissolved, because all you're thinking about is getting to that person that's doing harm and then just like beating the shit out of them. You don't really notice the blood, the color of the world all dissolves. You just see kind of like baseline outlines of your arm being blown off and then slowly repairing itself, because this person is basically his one like trait that he was given was numbness, basically being like feeling nothing. But also I'm not sure if I want in the story, I think it'd be cool to do like complete numbness, because then that kind of just has like a whole weird like passive thing of like, well, how is he gonna bang? You know, weird. Anyways, so yeah, but it could be like deadened nerves, like still, because I also don't like the idea of like completely boycotting the side character to be like, I was just made for you, you know, you're lucky I exist, because goddamn no one would put out with it. I kind of like the idea of he has an advantage in being like deadened nerves, but not, he's completely perfectly designed for the healer person in this story. Anyways, yes, a peg leg, Spellblade, Salt and Battery. If it was a good thing, I'd keep it. Right now, we're only looking for things that have potential. Like they could be. It doesn't matter. Chaos level does not matter. Faceless says. Wait, no. Let me catch up. I read the top chat. BC says horrible memory. Why? The jars. The joy. Yes. Pain. Fluff says, and because a healer is a thankless job most of the time, case in point, the amount of time I've revived y'all during... I know I've always seen it though, Fluff, but I've also killed just about everything in a room, like, immediately. with just like, I just do this, and everything's dead. Everything's dead. And I'm not saying, hey, you should kiss my feet because I kept you alive as well. There's always an argument. This is the DPS's kind of perspective, which I kind of agree with to some extent, which is, if I can kill everything before it can move, then who really needs a healer? Which is fair. That's like Overlord shit, you know what I mean? Where he's just like, yeah, I'll just fucking juice myself before the battle and everyone will die, you know? That's not to say that I appreciate you. Okay. That is to say that there's, yeah, you know, there's a, yeah. Well, I also, fuck you, Fluff. I've absolutely said our boy Fluff getting in here healing. Don't do that to me, okay? I commend myself on making sure I notice people's effort. Goddamn you. BZ says, Fluff, we appreciate. Yeah, no shit, BZ. No shit. Fayla says, GRINN, The Boys season 2 is so good. I'm so excited for Dead Space Return and Resident Evil 4. Are you excited for the the Dead Space reboot, Faceless, or are you excited for the Dead Space reboot or remake? Sorry. I think, man, as much as I'm very excited for the remake, I'm also excited to see what the guy who created it all kind of can come out with after the fact now. You know what I mean? I always like to see what the person who made it, if he can create that spark again. And I think it's nice that that's coming up before the new one, so that way you can kind of, see what the new is and see if the old is actually better. Also, about The Boys, man, can you let me know when it's finished? I think it's at like there's 6 episodes in total. I think there's 3 episodes that came out at once, and now I think we're trickling out some episodes bit by bit, I think. So yeah, hopefully let me know when the boys is completed, wrapped up, because I will binge the shit out of that, and I will make a video talking about it. They are talking about healers. Aqua. Yeah, Aqua's true. Aqua's a healer. Aqua's kind of also made to be like well, Aqua's weird because like there's a time where she purifies like a fucking undead giant lake, you know, and you're like, God damn, she powerful as shit. Now, granted, trauma back against the wall kind of shit, but also you gotta like unleash that shit normally, you know. Having a healer that strong, albeit accurate to a game, would give the show absolutely no well, no, that's the thing, Fluff, because that to me would be the best part about the show, is that, again, the pivot point, again, I truly believe this. So many people avoid pain. Like, the reason why, like, again, yeah, pain is the main reason. Like, it's not the fact that you can just be healed. It's the fact that things hurt. That's always what makes me pissed about, like, someone who can, like, oh, sorry, you know, that was my favorite part about a show called Aujin, which was basically a show where like the only people that really thrived in this world, the premise of the show is basically the people who can't die. They can feel pain, they can take damage, but as soon as they take so much damage to where they die, their body like gets repaired by like dark mist. But the only people that are truly like the most powerful entities that have this like power are people who are like sociopathic, basically people who can like just analytically say, I'm just gonna kill like I broke my leg, and then like slices their own throat. And then there's like a character later down the line, which is like a very happy, jovial guy who's just like a very big people person, where the main character and the team has to like forcibly kill him like many times just so that he can evolve, and it's brutal. But it also, to me, is like, yeah, again, I fully disagree with the sentiment of if somebody could have that level of healing, if it would all be done, because I don't think that's what limits people. I think like the idea of like barbarians and like knights, it's ridiculous. Like, I think pain is such a big force in all of fantasy that nobody mentions. And it's always like, oh, I took a lot of damage and I'm kind of sitting out down for the count, and it's like, I don't know about that. I think if someone did enough damage to where you had your arm blown off, I don't think your idea would be like, let's throw down. I think it would be like, fuck, I'm running away, you know? I think also that's another thing. When people experience, not death, when people experience pain, it's a force that gets them to run away. Yeah. Because like I think that's also the argument for like machines. Like why is a drone so much better than a human? Because it can't feel pain. It's not that it can be destroyed, but it's the fact that it like if like, what do you call it, if something went wrong, if they shot at it and it missed its if it missed its components that operate its movement, it's fine. You can just keep going. That can't be said for the same person. You get shot, you're fucked. You're probably feeling a horrible kind of way. You're probably like 50% less of what you already are. As much as adrenaline can do a lot for people, I don't know if they can do that much. Or I think it's oftentimes, like, what do you call it, overestimated how much adrenaline can play into actual damage. Not like pain. Like a bullet wound is not the same as getting like your basically your arm smashed and shattered into 1,000 tiny pieces, you know. An exit wound can be bad, but it's based on caliber and all these things. I just think that pain is a thing that people don't recognize as being such an indicator of fear and submission, I guess. That is how it works. Those 3 great trials provide the stats below. Yeah. Or adjust the base stats above. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do this. Lone Siggin says, no, Grin, it's a different anime, Grin. Don't hurt me, my healer. I haven't watched it myself, but it seems interesting and focused on the healer's perspective of things. It seems like, but it's dark, you said? If it's not dark, that seems interesting. I thought you said maybe it was dark. I thought, yeah. Oh, the what I assume pro tag is super cute, already a top 10 in my book. BC says, I love the description, a dark elf cleric who's invested too much in her insulating skills, and a veil a swordsman who has to put up with her antics. I want to watch this. That's neat. That's very cute. Plus, this reminds me of the description of the resurrection spell from D&D or Pathfinder, and how it restores flesh completely. This will also uncircumcise. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. But also, to me, I think it'd be cool if there was levels. So, like this, my favorite part about like storytelling is when you create a world that is sequenced and interesting. So, to me, it's one of the best parts about what's it called? It's like it's known for like having one of the best scaling things in like world scaling in all of anime. It's Hunter x Hunter. That's what it's called. Like to me, I think it'd be so fun to have tiers, and for someone to like look at a healer tier and be like, wait, why did you push healing past tier 5? You get the most benefit from tier 3, and then who cares? Like, it's excess. But then for them to show like, oh no, if you push it past tier 5, you can literally repair bones in seconds. Like it creates a ferocious effect, but no one's just like, who needs that much? Also, again, it's the pain aspect that could be a cool motivation for explaining why people don't pursue this end, you know? Fluff says our memories are not the same in this regard. Really? Oh, Fluff, if I ever made you feel not valid in the healing side of things, I apologize. In my head, from my perspective, maybe I didn't word my perspective well enough, but I was always happy to have you, and always enjoying you reviving people. BC says, imagine getting healed while at the brink of death, and that's the first thing you notice. your giblets, your circumcision is gone. Honestly, pretty peeved. That probably was a not good thing to experience. And if you want to get that back, there's a cost. But also, I don't know if that makes sense. Because theoretically, if that happens when you're born... Yeah, like to me, I think the healer thing makes sense if you're able to repair yourself up to a point in which you yeah. Otherwise, I feel like you just revert to a child, like right? Yeah, it's like is it going back in time, or is repairing damaged cells? I guess maybe that's the perspective of why it would work. Huh? Weird. Lone Singing says, yeah, who needs a healer when you can pull a meteor from the skies and bomb everything? This is regarding to like you could just kill everything fast enough to where it'd be you don't need any more healing. You could just kill everyone before they can move. Yeah. BC says, I gotta watch The Boys at some point. I really like what I've seen from the clips and things I've heard. Nothing but good. Yeah, no, it's very fun. It's very fun. It's very cool that, again, I think people just like subvert expectations / like a breath of fresh air. Something that's not like heroes are shitty, everyone's flawed. The people that are the heroes in this world are people that know that they suck, that heroes suck. And that there's corruption just about everywhere, you know? I am curious to see how they put it back together, because to me, I still am waiting for The Boys, and someone who is watching the show, I hope they do this in season 3. I actually really crave in that show for them to get to a balance point, to where they just do what the idea of The Boys I thought was what they would do. Which I thought the idea of The Boys was these people who kind of equal the playing field for characters, or sorry, for heroes. So like their express job is to like kneecap heroes that are being corrupt. Not all heroes, because some heroes you're needed, especially in the world filled with heroes and villains and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm curious if they're gonna get to a point where like they start just doing like the fun filler part of it, where it's just them, the boys, like analyzing a hero, finding out how to break them, and like just doing that back to back. Whereas right now it's still in like now they're going over here, and here's this new conflict, and now they're like, the one guy departed from the original group, and it's like, what the fuck? I just want to see them do the thing that they do best, you know? Because right now, I do feel like the main guy, I was hoping that the main guy would develop into like a fucking Einstein level of cleverness about like how to kill heroes. Because he kind of gets lucky a lot of the time. He has like plot armor, you know? But he's also like, his role in the story, I think, is the canary in the coal mine. He's just supposed to be like a kind of like a balance point for all of these psychotically deranged people who have this proclivity to want to equal out the playing field to heroes, which is fun. I got nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to wind down. B says, "Oh yeah, the shadow loved that art style. Was kind of meh." Oh, what do you mean in Ajin? Yeah. No, the Ajin, the 3D modeling like frame rate issues was rough. Yeah, but the idea and the concepts of that show were so fucking awesome. I loved it so much. Such a hidden gem of a show. Lone Ticket says, no, the anime is not dark. It seems kind of cute. And the whole story. What is it called? Lone Ticket? I know you wrote it like 6 times. Can you write it one more time? B says, I always thought it would be so cool to just use pain itself as a weapon, unlike physical damage, like the feeling of pain. Yeah, no, I feel like it's a smart, like tactic-wise. Again, oftentimes it's, no show uses it, really. It's like sometimes there's like poison, but it's like, I have an immunity or something. Or like, I have a potion, fuck you. It's like, well, what the fuck? You know, like, shit. Fluff says, the description is pretty much any injury or loss of limb or organs will be returned to its original state, not that it de-ages you. Oh, I see. I know, but to me, when I think of like if you had this thing happen to you when you were a kid, like what happens if you were born with some sort of like horrible thing? Would you have like a card on you that says like, yeah, I was born with like 5 lungs, they had to take one out or something? Don't heal me, I'll die immediately. Stop it, let me bleed out or something. Take me to a fucking person that knows how to sew and seal a wound. I know, annoying, but it's what it is. I can't remember the name, but there was an anime I saw a bit ago where the protagonist would slash through people, but it felt like the sword went clean through flesh, even though there was no actual damage. Weird. Okay. I don't know about that. I've never heard about that. We just need an aggro-like healer protagonist anime where the healer breaks into death metal scream to vent frustrations to his co-op party. Maybe. I feel like it's more memey than I had in mind. Because it's such a cool concept too. In real life, even life, enough pain can cause you to pass out or die of shock. Pain itself is such an important part of being alive. No, I guess that's the kind of idea, because it's such an undervalued prospect, at least to me. That I think like it's always funny because like people getting slashed and stabbed, and it's like I think this is a big problem because like you're bleeding out. It's not just like, ooh, I'm leaking, oopsie. It's like, no, bitch, you're dying. Pain synapse in your brain screaming at you, you know. Now, if you had like a person who like drank of what do you call it, like a berserker elixir, which is basically like a ton of fucking drugs, which is actually a thing, by the way. Berserkers used to exist, and they used to like just drink a fuck ton of like drugs just to numb their whole body. And like there's like a fucking badass story of like a guy who killed like 8 people on a bridge. He was like a Viking or something. He just juiced himself up and just murdered like a bunch of people, basically. Wild. Let's do this. Let me do this. Don't hurt me, my healer. Let me see what this is about. I'm gonna Google it. Also, Lone Syndicate. Before we leave, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna see Lone Syndicate's fashion choice. Oh, cute. Definitely cute. Got a little elf girl. Oh, is this the one? This is the one that Beastie was talking about. Okay. Why does it look like his wang's out here? What is that about? This looks like a very untimed, unintentional thing. F11, is it? There it is. This looks like a very... Yeah, this sensor job looks a little odd. Looks a little odd with this. Don't know what to feel. Anyways, let's close that. Let's open up our Discord. Let's see if Lone Syndicate sent us his absolute staggering fashion. Hit me with it, Lone Syndicate. It's quite colorful, but Boopa's pretty. It's not as provocative as I think it is. It's fine. It's fine. It's acceptable. I was yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I will say the whole like color thing happening with the sky and whatnot. I feel like this gotta make the shirt have a weird texture, no? So I feel like every time you have like a print on a thing, it has like a texture to it. Granted, maybe it's a high quality shirt. Granted, there are also some like anime websites where you can buy stuff, which is like literally. It's just they found a way to like compress an image on a shirt without it being like gross and like, you know, flaky, which is kind of awesome. But yeah, I don't dislike it, frankly. I don't like the color palette of blue, green, red, and pink. It doesn't like cohesively come together for my eyes. But I'm also a person that wears like white and black every day, so I'm the most uninteresting a person can be. Let's get also GRINN. I was saying pretty perfect. Fluff says, City of Heroes has a healer that's set to empathy, and the villain equivalent called Pain Dominion, which were popular opposites yet similar in concept. The latter was pretty much the concept. Okay, huh? Weird. Neat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. There is a video over at our Share Your GRINN channel, which is just us. Also, I'm reading that book and it talks about how like there's a lot of psychology about people clicking on faces, and I hate myself. So I'm kidding. I love myself, but whenever I edit my face in a thumbnail, like, oh my god, I didn't do that, but I did put like a little bit of me in there just to see if it had any effect. It does. It has an effect, even if I'm not able to capture it. It's a reason why people have their faces like, oh my god, in thumbnails. But yes, it's there. I couldn't not talk about it because it's a little odd. I don't do those things. I'm going to start to do a lot of the things that you've never seen me do, ideally in a way in which is acceptable. I think there's a good way to do something and a bad way to do something. And oftentimes I think I've been online and not long enough to know that there's a bad way to do something. Like clickbait that's not in the title is shitty. But if it's actually in the title, then most people don't mind. Also, if it's actually the first thing you see in the video, I think it's nice. So yes, but check that video out if you desire. Also, Lone Syndicate says it's a very high quality shirt, very soft and wear, and it's not printed on the. Yeah, I was about to say it looks really good. Looks quite good. Lighting is a little shitty in the image, which I think is that's not your fault. It's just like, yeah, you don't have the time to bring a fucking light up in here. But no, it looks great. I very much enjoy it. I think I think it would be cool. There's a lot of ones that are like grayed out and like they have like red text on them, kind of like the Supreme bright text, but it says like senpai or bako or whatever it's called. I don't know what the fuck it's called. And those ones to me seem like trendy a little bit, I guess. Like they have a deeper, like this is, I feel like you bought art, Lone Syndicate, you know what I mean? I feel like you bought art and you're wearing art. That one feels like you buy style, you know what I mean? With that one with that kind of like stylization even to the image. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for your time. Check out the video on Share GRINN if you're into that kind of thing. It's just us looking at memes, having a good old time. Thank you kindly for your time. And yeah, bye. I gotta go exercise, do all this shit. Goodbye.